Welcome to the source.
Make sure to adjust what?
The source. Source. Hey, get the
Delayed
source.
again. We started at 3:45 exactly, Tim C. The hell are you talking about? Watch a different show, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Tim C, people like you, man. People like you.
Delayed again. Someone needs to smack the shit out of the dude. All right. So, how many WNBA games are on the board? Oh, there's only one? What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Monday. I placed 2 bets and went 1-1. I got the Rockies, obviously lost the Twins. They went down 9-1 in like 5 minutes. They actually battled back and made it somewhat interesting after the rain delay. Damn, Andy, you moved the thing behind you so there's a big-ass light on your green screen?
Casual Andy.
Do we believe in Corbin today? It's a good question. Chris is here. I hear you. Connection's a little weak. You're like in and out. There he is. All right. So we only got one WNBA bet to do. A WNBA game. It's the Aces on the road in Dallas. Aces 9.5-point favorites. It's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points, Scott. And they actually have not covered in their last 8 games, which is crazy, going all the way back to before the Olympic break. I can't lay the points with them here, but what I can tell you about Dallas is they are historically like bad on defense. I mean, they gave up almost 100 points to the Sparks through 3 quarters the other day. And the Sparks take the game away to make sure that they can get the highest draft position. What Kurt Miller's going to do the rest of the season, which is why, if you're listening, a Sparks future under for season win total is probably a good bet the other day. But going back to this game, Aces kind of own. They beat twice already. And typically, like the Wops in that spot, but the team that step up and play a little bit better, and that does to lead towards up.
You're breaking up bad, man.
You know,
is that just me? He's breaking up on your guys.
Christopher, my friend, your connection is.
It sounds like this. Can you? Yeah, I barely could hear you. All right. What's
about
the bet?
What about now? Is that?
It was better for a second now.
Aces team total up and over.
Okay.
Aces team total up and over. So the total's 182. It's a 9-point spread. That means you're going to be looking at 94.5, 95.5.
4.5, 92.5 yesterday, but they can score 100. I do think that they can score 100 today.
All right.
So,
Aces team total over. He's saying he got 92.5. That you have to. It's like 94.5 now. So I mean, we'll put it up on the screen. But if you're wanting to bet this now, it's actually 94.5. All right. So that's the only game, Chris. I'll talk to you later, man.
Hey, Chris. Great seeing you, man.
Yeah, I don't know. That's 2 days in a row his connection's been bad. I don't know if he's doing it from his phone or something.
Yeah, that's all right. Chris is always a reliable man coming in.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And that's all we need.
Yeah. He said, bro's at work taking his shit. 10 minutes till MLB. What's the first game on the board today? Royals, Guardians? stuck between a rock and a hard place there. Lorenzen on the road is a fade, but I'm not completely cool back in Cleveland against righty bats. All right, we got 9 minutes to MLB. What do you guys want to talk about? Everyone's talking about Johnny Cueto. Royals?
What would you do if Cueto got signed to the Mets for the playoff rotation if we made it?
It's not even a discussion. There's no chance of that happening. So it's a stupid question to even ask.
What if he took the bump for the first game?
I don't understand. What if they signed Drew Brees to pitch the 7th inning of the World Series Game 5? See like how stupid of a question that is?
I mean, Steve Cohen does some crazy shit. I wouldn't really put it past him. Toast
is here.
All right, let's add him in here, and then I'm trying to find something to put up for Modi in the meantime.
Oh shit! I didn't even send Modi the link to join. That's probably why he's not here.
That would help.
Where's Matthew? Toast, can you speak? Oh, I don't hear him. Is your mic muted? No one can hear you. He just left the stream. I'm pretty sure his mic muted. Who's your favorite porn star?
I mean, Jesus Christ, guys. I mean, let's get some help. I mean, yeah, I could see that Mike's Toast mic is not on because it's not lighting up, you know? Yeah, and he knows that too. He could hear me. He shook his head. So, up.
Now, I think it just popped up. Yeah, now
okay.
I hear him now.
I hear him. No, hey,
I'm the only one with a short mic.
Man,
They
I
have
operate
something
with
else.
that mic at home. You're talking to a guy who uses the same mic as you. We're one and the same, brother. All right, now we just gotta wait for go.
I actually like this mic because I know how it works now. I know how to problem solve, which is very rare for me with electronics.
It's not the most complex of devices.
For you.
Oh shit.
Kyle will say that stuff about computers too. Be like, oh yeah, it's just Alt F7, 3 overs, and then a right click, and you're good to go. You didn't know that? Like, no,
duh.
I didn't.
101 shit.
It's true though.
Where do I get my hats from? Fanatics. Hey, Matthew's here. He's wearing. I don't hear Matthew either. Is your mic hooked in?
I don't even see him.
Hold on, I don't. Oh, no, now I hear him. You don't see him, Toast?
Hear him. I don't hear or see him.
I
see him on the. Okay.
I can see Toast. Are you in a new spot, Kyle?
I mean, how new are you talking?
Like your background looks different.
Really? It's a green screen. It's the same.
But normally I don't see. Normally I don't. I don't know. I see like. Normally I only see the green screen. Maybe you're like, is your camera different?
Oh no! I mean, I don't know. Oh,
I hear.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we have a different green screen. I bought green screens that go on the individual chairs, but like they can't see the difference. You can behind the scenes, but I didn't. Yeah.
I just meant behind the scenes. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, as far as what they see on the screen, it looks exactly the same.
It's the same. Right. Yep.
Can everybody see and hear each other?
All right. Can you guys hear each other now?
Yep. Modi. Hi.
All right. We got 5 minutes before 4 p.m. Let's put up a poll. I can't even think of a poll to put up.
Is there WNBA today?
We already did it. It was just one game.
Oh, that was quick.
4 minutes. We got baseball. Then we're going through 6 week 1 college football games after. Oh, no. I'm sorry. We're talking about the Eagles first. Then we're going through 6 college football games. On the schedule today, UTEP, Nebraska, Colorado State, Texas, FIU, Indiana. Then we got some good ones. TCU, Stanford, Clemson, Georgia, Yukon, Maryland. So, 3 games that are a little bit but 3 good games on the docket for later if you're sticking around to talk some college football.
Are we live right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say something horrible to get me canceled. I'm glad I asked. I'm just
What the hell is wrong with this guy?
I was about to say something horrible. Jesus.
I'm just kidding.
I think the viewership likes the Royals here, by the way.
Royals first 5.
Someone said run a poll to ban Andy after her Hawaii pick. Great pick, Andy. Great pick.
Hey, Andy, that's the first time anybody's ever gotten a pick wrong, by the way. Just want you to know that. Everybody else has never gotten one wrong.
That's how bad you are at this, Andy. Everybody else got it right besides you.
Yeah, correct.
Appreciate it, Rel. Appreciate the kind words.
I actually give Andy a lot of respect because it's not easy to just hop on there and start doing it. It's not easy.
Andy, for some reason, always points his... Can you point your camera down so you're not so low on the screen? Can you raise your seat up? All right. 2 minutes till we start. Toast looked like he actually showered and maybe had a cucumber sandwich.
Fuck no.
Maybe had a cucumber sandwich.
I haven't had a cucumber in 25 years.
Oh, shit. Scoop's coming on later, too. Scoop. He's been bailing on work for so long that I actually forgot he works here. Dude hasn't come on and given analysis since, like, March Madness? You have bets open today? I have 1 bet open today. But I'm down to clown, man. I'm down to bet more. It's just me and Andy are dropping probably 4 or 5 college football videos tonight for week 1, and they're just gonna be coming out at a quick pace for the rest of the week. I'm fully in college football mode, real ball. I'm down to host the show and talk about kids ball with Toast, but I'm invested in real ball now.
Ooh, these comments are funny.
Thank God that the all ball pays the same, right?
It's not about the pay. It's about having some pride in what you do, and I'm invested in real ball.
Not the kids.
Not the kids.
Modai's playing Pokemon Go after this. Yo, Modai, were you one of the people hanging out at like the Pokemon Go battle spots?
No, I never really got into Pokemon Go. Like the first weekend, I was like, "Oh, this is sick," and then that was it. It was just the one weekend. Toast doesn't look like he believes me, but I've never been one to lie and pretend about my nerddom. So no, that was not me.
No, he's pretty upfront about it.
I mean, as you can tell.
Dude gave a starting lineup of Pokemon. It's 4 o'clock. All right. Royals, Cleveland.
Literally stopped mid-sentence.
I was waiting for 4. All right, let's start. Kansas City on the road in Cleveland. Kind of my first. So I'm giving like my first impression. I haven't handicapped the game. So just giving my first impression on looking at it. It would be a rock and a hard place for me. You got Lorenzen making a road start. That's a fade. But at the same time, Cleveland against righties isn't something I'm jumping at the opportunity to lay -155, -160 juice. So at first glance, Kansas City doesn't hit as well on the road. Gavin Williams, Shaky, but not terrible. I would lean under 9, but don't put it up. Go on. Go ahead, Toast. Am I close? Am I anywhere close?
I don't hate that. Kansas City first 5 money line plus 130 for me. Probably one of my favorite plays of the day. I just don't understand this price. It's very similar to the Padres price yesterday. Just absolutely made no sense to me why we're getting this team at a plus money price. This is obviously a much bigger price, but first and foremost, Michael Lorenzen versus this Cleveland team. He's already faced them once this year. He went 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs. 22 and 23. He also faced this team. Matter of fact, he's been absolutely fantastic against Cleveland. Not to mention the fact is Michael Lorenzen starting to kind of find it over his 3 or 4 last starts. He went into Cincinnati, went 5 2/3, only 1 hit in that Great America Small Park. He went into Detroit, went 5 2/3, 5 hits in 1 run. And keep in mind, Detroit's playing really good baseball over the last couple of weeks. So it's not like those are easy. Toronto got to him and the Angels got to him, but I think he's kind of settled down here. And like Kyle just alluded to, what do we know about Cleveland is that they really struggle versus right-handed pitching. And you're right. Michael Lorenzen on the road can be a fade, but what does Michael Lorenzen do very, very well? Pitch to left-handed batters. And what are you going to see? A whole bunch from Cleveland, lefty, 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 lefty. This price makes absolutely no sense. Cleveland's like 0-18 their last 9 doubleheaders that they've played, and Gavin Williams, again, everybody's betting Cleveland because they have some good record off of the doubleheaders. Are they negating the fact that Gavin Williams has an ERA at home just about at 9, a whip at 2? His xFIP's decent, but the Royals versus right-handed pitching on the road the last 14 days is a top 2, top 3 offense on the road or at home, and versus right-handed pitching, they're like a top 7 offense in general. So this price makes absolutely no sense to me. I feel like the Royals have the bats advantage, and I feel like they have the pitching advantage. So at plus 130, yeah, it's one of my favorite plays of the day.
Based on what you said, and based on what my first impression was, you can get Cleveland team total under 4.5 at plus money right now.
Jesus, yeah, I would do that too. I mean,
I like that actually. Type that up.
It doesn't make, and Cleveland's only hit that number twice in their last 10 games, 5 runs.
Cleveland team total under 4.5. It's at plus 100.
And the 2 games that they scored over 5, guess how many runs they scored? 9 in 12 innings, which we know that was a fluke because I was on them and they scored, I think, 8.
They only had 3. No, they only had 3.
Oh, whatever,
yeah.
And then they scored 13 against Texas, and I don't even know who started. Doesn't even matter. That was my boy, John Gray. So yeah. But yeah.
Someone says, not gonna lie, these guys aren't really good at capping the AL Central teams. Do you have data to back that up? Or like,
what is very specific?
It's very, very specific.
All the other divisions you guys
not
are
to
good,
mention,
but
didn't Toast go on a streak of 3 weeks without losing by blindly backing the Guardians and the Royals or something?
No.
That's probably the most profitable division. All right. Anyway.
I was betting Cleveland and fading the Royals on the road.
Yeah, there was like a streak where you didn't lose for a while. All right. Anyway, Modi, what do you have for us, sir?
I passed on this one. I would agree with the Royals angle. They're hot. They won both games a doubleheader yesterday, if my memory serves correct. I think they're only 1 game back from the Guardians as well. Not that matters like with this game tonight, but I would lean towards the Royals. I like them.
Chad Cuban in the comments says he likes Royals plus 1.5. Van de Bosch, Cleveland has 61 at bats versus Lorenzen, 204 batting average, 298 expected WOBA. Royals going to tie to the division tonight. So Trevor Van de Bosch on the Royals as well. Our polls on the Royals, so definitely a little bit of a public dog here, Kansas City.
Again, with the plus 1.5, the Royals have played less than 31 run games. This is game 133. Just keep that in mind, guys.
Chad Cuba says, I want to punch the screen every time I hear the word Guardians.
Seek out.
Yeah, talk to somebody about that, man.
Yeah.
Name of their team, man. Don't blame
There's a lot of good resources out there.
It's because he didn't want the team. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Call them the shit bags for all I care. Whatever. In fact, the whole idea of a team name is stupid. Like, we're the Pirates. Like, what are we, 7? Like, just call them Cleveland. All right. Anyway, Cubs on the road in Pittsburgh. Cubs short road favorites here with Justin Steele on the mound. Oh shit, Jones is back. Jared Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Has he been back?
No, this is his first start since July, 4th of July or something.
What are your thoughts on that, Toast?
I feel like over 7.5. This number makes absolutely no sense to me. First and foremost, Justin Steele in his history against the Pittsburgh Pirates is an absolute disaster. This year, he's pitched against them twice, once at home, once on the road, 9 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 11 runs. Last year, he pitched against them twice, 9 innings, 14 hits, and 9 runs. And then in 2022, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 6 runs. So he's been absolutely throttled by this Pittsburgh team essentially every single time that he has seen them. On top of that, we have a Cubs team that, I mean, they've scored 18, 2, 14, 14, 6, 10 their last week or so. I mean, if this offense is starting to turn a corner and to facing this Jared Jones kid, who's very good, I will give you that hasn't pitched in the month. I truly feel like we're getting a 7.5 total because of the 2 starting pitcher names. But like I said, Justin Steele, I mean, I will give you that the Pirates offense is absolutely terrible. But over the last 5 games, 7, 6, 2, 8, 4. I mean, it's not absolutely terrible. I just truly believe that. I mean, not to mention the fact that I don't really trust neither one of these bullpens very far. I know the Cubs bullpen has been performing better, but they also got rid of Hector Neris. So I just don't really trust either bullpen. So I just felt like 7.5 was way too low. I thought it was 7.5 because of the 2 starting pitchers. But knowing that the history between Steele and the fact that the Cubs offense is starting to heat up, and I mean, the Pirates offense has shown life. I just thought that 7.5 was way too low.
Yeah, there's a couple of comments are pointing towards an overall. So Vandenbosch says the Pirates smacked Justin Steele, 309 batting average and 87 career at bats. Justin McElvey is on the Pirates money line. Benji Smith, Cubs team total over. So it seems like the viewers are down with some runs being scored as well. Modai, what about you?
I hate that this was the first 2 games. I only had 4 passes today. This was another one. I hated that it was first 2 games. But with Jones's first start back, you don't know how long he's going to go. You don't know how he's going to look. And Steele, the splits versus Pittsburgh, like Toast mentioned, are terrible. But he's not a terrible pitcher. So maybe they just have his numbers. So I don't really know where to go with this one.
Toast, did you see the strike that was called with Rowdy Tellez pitching? What? I mean, I almost think that they should that there should be a forfeit. Like the team's like, we're good to just end the game. What's the point of having what's the point of that?
I mean, you would have to do it only in the 9th, and it would just make it hard.
No, but if they're gonna put it in, it's the equivalent of an NFL team bringing in like an offensive lineman to take snaps at quarterback. It's just like, what are we doing this for?
I get it.
Next up, Houston on the road in Philadelphia. Phillies ended up getting the win, but Toast didn't get his -1.5.
I didn't bet it, though.
Whatever. Anyway, Astros on the road in Philly. Verlander's pitching. Let's see. +120, -145. Aaron Nola getting the home start. It seems like kind of a short price for Nola, but the way the Astros have been playing, I get it. What do you like here, Toast?
I didn't bet this, and I feel like I'm going to regret it. First 5 under, 4.5. I just feel like this is more when these 2 teams play. It's just more of a playoff atmosphere more than anything. Last few times they've played 3-2, 4-3, 3-1, 3-2, 3-0, 10-0. I mean, it's always competitive, low-scoring games. I know that Justin Verlander was okay against Boston in a home start, his first start out from his injury, but he also has a really good history against this Phillies team in the lineup. I mean, again, as far as the players are in that lineup, he hasn't faced them as a team in like 2 years. But I do trust Justin Verlander on the road. Before he was injured on the road, he was a pretty damn bet-on pitcher. Seattle, Oakland, Detroit. Obviously, the Phillies are much better than those teams that I just listed. But at the same time, I do feel like that he can pitch well here. And then Aaron Nola, same thing. Not trying to get behind him at home at a price like this, but I do think that he can pitch well. His last 2 home starts, 5 2/3, 7 hits against the Yankees, and then 6 2/3, 7 hits, no runs against Washington. So he's been decent. I just feel like I said, I just feel like this game is more of a playoff atmosphere type of game, and I feel like 4.5 and 9 is just way too many. I don't want to get involved with the bullpen situation because both teams are in a little bit of a situation with their bullpen. Houston, as far as they are concerned, I just scrolled past them on accident. Where are they go? There it is. Hader went yesterday, and then Abreu went 2 of the last 3 nights. Taylor Scott's went 2 of the last 3 nights. I think Haters went back-to-back nights, actually. Matter of fact, I'd have to load this again. But yeah, again, I feel, Hater, Abreu, Neris, all back-to-back nights or 2 of the last 3 nights. And then as far as the Mets are as far as the Phillies are concerned, Estevez has went back-to-back, Hoffman 2 of the last 3 nights, Kirkering 2 of the last 3 nights, Strahm back-to-back nights as well. So I want nothing to do with the later in this ball game. I feel like it's a truly coin flip, but I think it's like a pitcher's duel first 5.
We got Benji coming in the comments. There's one of our guys. Verlander, 6+ Ks at +100. 6
I didn't
Ks
bet this
for
yet.
Verlander. Hold on. There's some other. Oh, the typical S dot. He chimes in. You know what he comments? He doesn't share his pick for the game. He says, "I've got all the winning picks today," but doesn't actually share one of them. That's.
I thought he was going to say like Jordan Homer, Harper Homer parlay.
Hairston says Phillies and over. Got a couple of Astros in here, a couple Phillies money line. This seems pretty split on this one. Poll is split too, 40%, 39%. Modi, what do you lean? I kind of want to lay the juice with Phillies money line, to be honest.
So do I, but
Yeah, there we go. It's on the screen now. Alex Bredman.
Should we give him the song? Let's give him the song.
Well, I would like to know, do you have a double dong today?
You have a double dong?
No, not today.
All right, then we're playing it.
And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down.
All right, looks like you got a Bregman homer graphic up.
Yes, Alex Bregman to hit a home run. So one stat that I've been looking a lot recently is hard hit, line drive plus fly balls. I feel like that kind of hits both metrics to hit a home run, hitting the ball hard and hitting the ball in the air. He's got 8 over the last week, which puts him with the 4th most. And I generally try to target the opposite handedness, but it's righty batter versus righty pitcher, so I'm not doing that today. Aaron Nola has struggled a little bit more against lefty batters, but Bregman's been crushing righties recently. Over the last month, 5 home runs, another 5 extra base hits, 11% barrel rate, 54% hard hit rate. And I don't know if I'm just too hard on him because I'm a Philly fan, but I feel like Nola is one of the more frustrating pitchers to root for because he can pitch long into games because he's got a pretty consistent form. He doesn't really lose his gas when he gets 100 pitches, but he also gives up a lot. He can give up a lot of home runs. His last two starts have been good. He's only given up 1 combined, but prior to that, he got a little bit rocked by the Diamondbacks. And overall, his last 10 starts, 1.54 home run per 9, which would be the 6th worst in the league if you just extrapolated it out. And Bregman hits the pitch mix of Aaron Nola really hard. Most frequently, he throws the knuckle curve, which Bregman admittedly doesn't see a ton of knuckle curves from righties. He's only seen 1 in the past month, but that one left his bat at 104 miles per hour. The other 2 he'll see sinkers and 4-seam fastballs, 13% barrel rate and 55% hard hit rate. Bregman's been on fire against a pitcher against Nola that loves to give up home runs. So I thought this was pretty good value. It's actually $5.75 now at BetMGM. So you can get a little bit of a better price than you see on the screen.
Prop Beaver, put up Phillies money line for me. I'm actually going to put that down as a possible.
One thing I didn't mention either is that I do think even though the Astros have been playing well, I do think it's a little bit of a step down in competition for Aaron Nola. His last few starts at Minnesota, the Yankees, the Dodgers, at Arizona, at Atlanta, and Washington. I mean, that's like the who's who of who's hot right now as well. So I understand that the Astros have been hot as well, but they don't really fit that mold as far as lineups that scare me at this time.
Someone says Ole Miss wins this weekend. Call me and I'll explain on camera. Bro, just send the video in. If it's a good clip, I'll play it on the show if it's a good clip. What? Oh shit. They play Furman next game. Good call.
That's funny.
What's up next? Oh, Angels Tigers. Okay, Angels Tigers. Sometimes we're presented with opportunities and we need to really decide what kind of person we want to be. Like, do we want to be the type of person that says no to free money? I mean, there's a man on the mound, Johnny Cueto. This is a guy who can't be trusted. I've said it so many times. On the road in Detroit, it doesn't matter who he's pitching against. I laid the 1.5 here, plus 140. I think I got it. Clearly, the Angels are just trying to eat innings, get to the end of the season. I think there are better options out there than Cueto. Personally, it's just a blind bet. Johnny Cueto's on the mound. I'm going minus 1.5 the other way. Give me Tigers minus 1.5, please.
Tigers minus 1.5. Tigers team total over 4.5. Either way you want to play it. First of all, the Angels versus, if you're worried about Brant Herter, I get it, but at the same time, if you look at Angels versus left-handed pitching, it's absolutely terrible. 30th in OPS, WRC plus, OPS, and WOBA, all those major categories. The last few righties or lefties they've seen, it's been really bad as well. Again, I don't really need to go into this much. Not to mention the fact that the Tigers, if you guys haven't realized, are one of the hotter teams in baseball right now. 7-3 their last 10, 13-7 their last 20. The last 5 games they've scored 6, 9, 13, 5, 2, 8. Or that's 6 games. But regardless, the Tigers are playing well and they're back at home. They should score plenty of times against Johnny Cueto.
Modi, Tigers minus 1.5, right?
Oh yeah, if I had to choose, 100. You would not catch me backing Johnny Cueto. In fact, I have a home run against Johnny Cueto. Give me Kerry Carpenter to hit a home run. He's best offered at 475 right now at BetMGM, so it's gone a little bit higher than what the graphic will show. But Carpenter's been really good recently, and Johnny Cueto is terrible. I feel bad for him because I loved him when he was first coming up. Like his rookie year, he was phenomenal. I think he started like 11-0 or something his rookie year. That was in 2008. That was a long time ago. And he's been terrible. Like last year, he pitched 52 innings for the Marlins, had a home run per 9 of 2.92. For context, last year, the worst home run per 9 of all qualified pitchers was 2.16. And he was, again, 2.92. Against lefties last year, his home run per 9 was 3.71, which is the worst by far. Nobody's even worse than 2. His is at 3.71. He's already given up a home run to a lefty this year in only 16 at-bats. And Carpenter's been on fire. He, over the last 2 weeks, 9 hard hit line drive plus fly balls. Over the last month, he's hit 4 home runs off righties in the last 2 weeks. 14% barrel rate, 56.5% hard hit rate. Cueto threw a sinker 42% of the time in the one. It's only one start, so it's like, is that really going to be what his pitch mix is like? But Carpenter's crushed the sinker recently over the last 2 weeks, and then next up was the changeup, which Carpenter's also crushed. This was, backing in the odds are plus 475. The 550 is no longer available, but either way, I would still take it at that price.
In the comments, Timothy Williams shared a pick. He said Tigers first 5 minus 3.5. Hurlbrit Sports Pick says Detroit minus 1.5 is 7-0 to the run line versus the AL West.
Okay. I like that.
Vanden Bosch. Johnny Cueto in one game had an expected ERA of 12.78.
I just wanted to point out another guy that I like on Detroit tonight a lot is Riley Green. Just on fire since coming back in the lineup. A hit in every single game, 2 hits or more in 2 of his last 3. Hits, runs, and RBIs, whatever you like. But Riley Green as well.
You know what? I'll read off S.'s bum-ass parlay real quick. Because he did lead the league last week in units earned, and he's right up there after one day. So he actually is hot. So S. Yanks, Tigers, Phillies, Dodgers, Rangers. Oh, my God, bro. That hurt just reading it, S. Yanks, Tigers, Phillies, Dodgers, Rangers, money line for S. Bum-ass, trick-ass, square-ass parlay.
That's
Next
going to
game,
be the
please.
community parlay later. We could just read that later.
Yeah. Well, I would have forgot about it because the comments disappear. Okay. Next up.
Someone's commented, Yankees ain't beating Patrick Corbin.
We got sharps here. We got people. Yeah. Some people get it. All right. A's, Cincinnati. Why is Toast muted? Oh, there he is.
I just didn't want to interrupt you. That's all.
Oh, it looked like you were speaking. That's why.
Oh, I was yelling at my son.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were okay. I thought you were trying to talk to us.
My bad.
Oh shit! Cash God is back. I haven't seen Cash God since. It must be September. I haven't seen Cash God since freaking March. Anyway,
there is a pitching change. Well, I don't know if there's a pitching change, but I assumed it was Lodolo. He was listed yesterday. It is not Nick Lodolo today. It'll be everybody's favorite Jacob Junis.
Yes,
starting everybody's favorite.
Toast, weren't you saying in Mitch Betts' last start that he's actually been pitching all right?
Mitch Spence? Yes. Well, coming in, well, that was like 2 starts ago. He had been pitching very well. Then Grimace got to him, and I think they messed up his head because then he gave up. Well, it was 7 innings, so it's hard. Again, he had a really bad start against the Mets, and then he had a home start against the Rays where he went 7 innings. He gave up 4 runs, but on 7 hits, but he struck out 10. So the swing and miss is there. But again, that 10 I don't do a K props, but that's like so out of the ordinary for him. Like, yeah, I don't really know what to think of this game. I really want to play over, and I wanted to play over with Lodolo on the mound because we would have had Oakland versus a lefty and Cincinnati versus Mitch Spence, who hasn't been great. But now with Junis on the mound, it kind of changes because Oakland hasn't been nearly as bad or as good versus lefties or righties as they have been at lefties. But the huge thing is like Great America Ballpark's going to be 95 degrees today. I mean, it's like one of the best run environments you can get. I mean, with low pressure. Yeah, it's for me, it's over or pass. I don't know if I'm actually going to bet it. I was going to bet it, and then I noticed that Lodolo isn't going to be there. So it kind of threw it off for me, but it's over or pass for me.
Well, now that it's not Lodolo and it's not a lefty against Oakland, I agree with Tinker in the comments. Tinker said he actually typed Reds 3 times. He must really like
Tinker
the Reds.
is a Red season ticket holder. Take it with a grain of salt.
Oh, Tinker, you son of a bitch, man. I didn't know that. Put up Reds for me.
But I do agree with him. I do agree with him.
I'm already leaning Phillies at -145. Do I really want to take 2 big-ass favorites like this? I'll put it down. I'll put it down.
I do feel like that line is pretty indicative that like the books don't want to get caught with their pants down. Like they don't want to give Cincinnati -125 or something, 130, and then have to deal with that. So
yes, he is in Cincinnati, and he said it's sweaty balls here in Cincinnati. Modi, it looks like Prop Beaver put up an Ellie home run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz, he's my white whale. I feel like every single day he has a great matchup, and I feel like every time I bet him, he's never hit a home run. I just can't get him on the right day. But he's been really, really good. He tied with Ohtani with the second most of the stats that I've been giving out: hard hit, line drive, plus fly balls. I call them dong predictors because it's a mouthful to say the full stat, and that's kind of what they are for me. They're dong predictors. He's got 10 over the last 7 days. Again, that's tied with Shohei Ohtani. Only Aaron Judge has more, but I mean, Judge is basically in a different category of everything. The pitcher's going against Mitch Spence, 1.71 home run per 9 over his last 10 starts. He's also a right-handed pitcher, and Ellie hits righties harder. And Ellie crushes cutters, which he's going to see literally over 50% of the time Mitch Spence throws a cutter to left-handed batters. And on the season, Ellie's got a 57% hard hit rate and 326 ISO rate against cutters from righties. Over the last 4 weeks, that's a 72% hard hit rate. The issue with Ellie is he hasn't, like his launch angle hasn't quite been there, which is why he hasn't hit a ton of home runs. But again, 10 hard hit, line drive plus fly balls means recently he has been putting it in the air. It's just gotten unlucky with them actually leaving the ballpark. But in like the perfect weather plus stadium game, I just don't see that happening again today. He could hit 2. If you want to get a crazy price on him to hit 2 home runs, he did that a couple of weeks ago. He could do that again today. But I just need him to do half that. I just need to do half, and we're good at plus 420.
And you called him your white whale.
Yes.
So possible 2 home runs if you're trying to get crazy. Modi, he in the comments wants to know he likes Tyler Stevenson. I wonder if you look.
Stevenson, admittedly, I didn't look at. So anything I say will just be me just firing off the hip.
That's all
right. So I can look into that and come back. But
I think I'm going to have to play the Reds. I'm looking at their game logs, and they've done really well coming home their first games from a road trip. Yeah, I'm probably on the Reds.
Next game. Maybe just do Reds team total over.
I don't know, man.
Yankees, Nats, 2 aces on the mound here. Garrett Cole against Corby. I mean,
Yankees are in all. What was it? Let me see what it is. I think it's like a Judge hit and Yankees money line plus 100 or something like that on all these books or something like that. So books really want you to bet the Yankees.
If you can answer one question, it's a simple question. If you're able to answer this question, you could bet this game properly. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, "Do I believe?" And
Judge to get a hit, Yankees money line plus 100. There's your boost.
That's the question you got to answer yourself. Do I believe? And I think the answer is yes. Put Nats up. I didn't bet it, but like I kind of want to, but it's more just a bet out of principle than an actual wager that I think will turn a profit. I mean, plus 200 at home. We know the Yankees against lefties hasn't been anything that blows you away over the last couple of months. They've been. What is that face for?
Because I got so much shit yesterday for my under, and it was sweat free, and everybody's like, "Oh, the Yankees versus lefties. Stan's back in the lineup." Da, 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 da. They suck. They're terrible. They're terrible.
All right, so you're back in Corby.
No, not with Garrett Cole on the mound. Not a chance.
So
I played Yankees, Padres first 5 money line parlay at plus 155. That's what I did. I backed Cease and Cole versus bad teams. I literally did not want to play. First of all, Patrick Corbin has been pitching pretty well over his last couple starts. On the road in Philadelphia, he was decent. At home versus Colorado, he was really good. Clearly, those teams are not nearly what the Yankees are. But like I said yesterday, guys, this Yankees team versus left-handed pitching really isn't that impressive. What did we see yesterday? What did I say yesterday? Everybody was laughing about bang, bang, bang. Same thing happened yesterday. Torres hit a home run. Volpe hits a double and they score, and then a couple other home runs, or Jazz hits a homer, whatever. So like the Yankees, if you're not hitting a home run, the Yankees aren't doing anything. So if they get to Patrick Corbin, so be it. But Corbin's, sitting up there, he's not really giving up a whole bunch of home runs. Over his last 7 starts, he's only given up 5 home runs. So it's not like he's laying out a whole bunch of meatballs. So again, I just don't trust this Yankees lineup to string hits together. So I can't play an over, and I cannot lay the juice with the Yankees. But I do think that we have a huge advantage with Garrett Cole in the first 5 versus Patrick Corbin. I do think Garrett Cole blanks the Nationals. So as long as the Yankees get 1, I think I'm going to be live in my parlay. I can push, but yeah, there's no chance I bet the Yankees full game with that bullpen.
Prop Beaver put your bet on the screen for you. All right.
Let's wait. This has just been a stretch of a lot. I have James Wood to hit a home run. It's like my 4th in a row. That's just like, I don't know how the games went. I really like James Wood. He's been crushing the ball recently, and we're getting him at plus 600 odds. I get it because it's Garrett Cole, and Garrett Cole's awesome. He hasn't given up a home run, I think, in 4 straight starts. But even if you just isolate it to just those 4 starts in which he hasn't given up a single home run, he's allowing the batters to hit the ball decently hard, 89.6 average exit velocity, 41% hard hit rate, 14.5-degree launch angle. Like, none of those numbers are going to be the worst. They're not Johnny Cueto numbers, but they're also not good. And it's, again, a 4-start stretch in which he hasn't given up a single home run when you would expect it to look a lot better. Prior to that, he got rocked in a couple starts, like 4 home runs in one, 3 home runs in another, which that's also a little bit of an outlier. So I'm guessing things are just going to kind of even out from here. And Wood's been like, again, crushing the baseball. So Cole throws four-seam fastball about just under 50% of the time to lefties. The last 5 times that Wood has made contact with a four-seam fastball has been considered a hard hit, 3 of which above 106 miles per hour off the bat. 101.7 off of Tanner Gordon, 107.5 off of Jeff Hoffman, the Phillies, one of their best relievers. That was a home run. 97.8 off of Aaron Nola, 100.6 off of Zach Wheeler. Like, good pitchers that he's annihilating the baseball. And we're getting plus 600. I think that's a great price. So yeah, I think this is part of a value play, also part of a little bit fading Garrett Cole while backing a guy that's been hitting just absolute rockets.
I just want to back you up on that one. Just really quickly, over the last 28 games, James Wood's batting 347, 462, 561. The only people in Major League Baseball better than that, Aaron Judge, Vladdy Guerrero, and Jock Peterson. This kid's been absolutely killing the baseball lately over the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. I believe next is Boston, Toronto, right? Yeah. Boston, Toronto. Cooper Creswell is pitching against Yariel Rodriguez. I thought Yariel Rodriguez just pitched. Oh, I'm guessing the doubleheader, his start got pushed back. I thought we were just talking about Yariel Rodriguez. Was that like 4 days ago already now?
Yeah, I think so, dude.
Oh, all right. So does Yariel Rodriguez still have those ugly-looking splits against lefty bats? Is that still a thing?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, on the road in Fenway against a bunch of Boston lefties, right?
Wait, hold on. No, Rodriguez is much better versus lefties than righties.
He's okay. So I'm mixing him up with Randy Vasquez. Okay, so Yariel Rodriguez has good numbers against lefty bats,
correct.
And Boston might be slipping down a little bit as far as, dude.
Yes. Dude,
So Toronto?
Jay's first 5 money line at plus 115 is another one of my favorite plays today. Does this again? I've said this for a week now, and I've had a little bit of pushback, and now I'm going full heel. Boston's dead. Their bats are dead. They are not coming back anytime soon, and we need to act accordingly. Yariel Rodriguez, yes, he's had a couple bad starts in a row on the road at Chicago and at home against Cincinnati. Prior to that, he had been pitching pretty well. He had a good road start against the Yankees. He had a decent road start against Arizona, so I can trust him to pitch well. His last 5 road starts, 5.90 or 3.98 ERA, 1.28 WHIP. The xFIP isn't great, but like I said, the last 5 road starts aren't bad. And the Boston numbers versus righties are still gaudy, but at home, like I've mentioned many times, they're a different team. At home, they're not a 500 baseball team. We can't act like they're a 500 baseball team. And over the last 30 days, they're like middle of the pack. In the last 14 days, they're like 20th in Major League Baseball. So they're really not doing anything. Yariel Rodriguez versus lefties this season with a WOBA at 268 and a WHIP at 1.24. I mean, look at all the lefties in the Boston lineup today. Duran, Hamilton, Casas, Abreu, Yoshida. I mean, that's a lot.
Even without Devers.
Yeah. Exactly. I was just about to say that as well. And not to mention, you take out a bat like Rafael Devers. That's a really big bat out of the lineup. And oh, by the way, nobody tells system plays, but I mean, Toronto is on fire right now. 7-2 their last 9. I mean, it's been, really, really impressive. Or I'm sorry, 7-3 their last 10. Really, really impressive what they're doing. They absolutely slaughtered Boston yesterday. They slaughtered LA for 8 runs on Sunday. I have no reason to believe that this Toronto offense is going to slow down. I don't understand this price at all. I just feel like it's wrong. Toronto first 5 money line plus 115.
Let's do it. I'll take the full game. Give me Blue Jays. I'm down.
Boston sucks, guys.
Matthew?
Yeah, I liked Yariel Rodriguez over 4.5 strikeouts earlier this morning. It was plus 100. It got steamed all the way up to minus 128. I would not take it at minus 128. So if you still want to play that, I would put a half unit on him to get to 6+ at plus 180 at FanDuel. That's how I would play it at this point in time.
Ooh, okay.
What did he say?
6+ at 180.
Half unit.
Wow.
I was on
the
over,
original number.
Yeah, I was on over 4.5 at plus 100, but that got, like I said, that got just absolutely steamed up to minus 128, which I'm not taking that. But 6+ for plus 180, I think, is worth a half unit sprinkle.
Wow, we're a Toronto program today. All right, next up. What's next on the board? Braves Twins.
Next game.
This was my loss yesterday. I had Twins and Rockies.
This was my only loss. Only loss yesterday.
Oh, did you have a? Yeah, I went 1-1 though. So this is my loss, but I only had 1 win. So yeah, Braves on the road. Schvelli's pitching. I'm not a Woods Rich guy.
I don't understand this price. How are the Braves minus 110? That's the only thing that's throwing me off. They have the pitching advantage. I mean, I guess you can call the bats a wash, I guess. I really feel like the 6 that Minnesota put up yesterday was all empty calories. That means absolutely nothing to me. You might as well put a 2 there. It's still the same thing. This doesn't make any sense to me. It's Atlanta or pass. I was so wrong with Minnesota yesterday that maybe that's part of it. But I mean, Atlanta's bullpen has been absolutely fantastic, and they're going to have all their guys rested and ready to go behind Schwellenbach, who's been an absolute godsend for them. I mean, I guess on the road he hasn't been as great, but I mean, his last 4 road starts, I mean, the Angels, it wasn't great, but he goes into Colorado for probably the first time ever, pitches 6 innings and 2 runs. He goes on the road to face Grimace and the New York Metropolitans, and he goes 7 innings, 2 hits with 11 strikeouts. And then he goes on the road to San Diego, one of the hottest teams and best teams in baseball with the best bullpens in baseball, and goes 7 innings, 3 hits, and run. I mean, I don't understand. How is the Braves not minus 130 right here? Like not only that, the Twins aren't playing good baseball right now. They're 9-11 their last 20. They're 4-6 their last 10. So they're not in a 500 baseball team the last 3 weeks. It doesn't even make sense because the Twins have like been decent at home for the previous 2 months. That's why this price is like this. It doesn't make sense. So it's Braves or Pats. I haven't bet it because the price kind of freaks me out. I'm not going to lie.
But I will say, though, as far as our poll, there's a lot of people betting the Twins. I mean, the majority, it's 54%, 37%. So this isn't like a crazy. The Braves aren't looking at like as crazy as a public side as you would think, or at least based on our poll.
Are we going to chop then? With Schwelly?
I want to hear what Modai says.
I'm on Schwelly to record over 17.5 outs. This is a play where I am eating the juice, drinking the juice.
Well, then I will play Atlanta then. Absolutely.
It's minus
if you think
one.
He's going to go deep.
Fine.
If you think he's going to go deep and we have the bullpen, then yes, I'm playing Atlanta right now, minus 110 on FanDuel.
Hell yeah, love that. It's minus 148, which is admittedly about as juice to the gills as I will play. But I mean, he's pitching 6 full innings. He's done that in 7 of his last 8 starts. He's been phenomenal. Maybe I'm influenced because I just watched this guy dice up the Phillies for 6 2/3 innings. They got a hit in the first inning. Their next hit didn't come until 2 outs into the 6th inning. He absolutely annihilated them. His one bad start was, I think it was against the Dodgers. I forgot to write that down in my notes, but like the one start he didn't go over, I think was against the Dodgers. So maybe that was a different pitcher that I was
go over. What was it? I can tell you. I have it right here. Over what?
When did he last not get 6 full innings?
Well,
6 full innings against the Angels. His 2 starts ago, he only went 5, but everything else went way over that.
Okay, it was the other. Okay, I mixed up the. Okay, that doesn't look as
either way.
The
You're
Angels
right.
and not
one
the Dodgers.
out of his last 7 starts, he's only not hit this number once.
Yeah, exactly. And so he in that start he wasn't even terrible. Like 8 strikeouts, only 4 hits. He's been awesome his last 10 starts. 2.90 FIP, 2.69 X FIP, 2.71 Sierra. And the Twins bats aren't quite as hot as they've been over the last 30 days. 7th best WRC plus. But you look at the last 14 days, 13th. And they also don't hit the pitch mix of Schwellenbach phenomenally. Like they're 11th in terms of fastballs, and then they're below average in terms of the slider, which is the next most frequent pitch that he throws. So you are admittedly paying a hefty price, but I really like him to get to the full 6 innings.
I'm a Schwelly guy. I'm a big believer in the Schwell. Somebody
He's
said
awesome.
Schwellenbach is Polish. They have a very good record pitching on Tuesdays. Is he talking about Polish pitchers?
Pitchers?
Is there a website that shows that kind of splits? All right,
that's funny.
I'll do this one. I for the record, if someone, I took off the Reds and Phillies from my list. I like the Blue Jays and Braves better. So add that and the Cleveland team total under. Those are currently the 3 I have on my list. Next, Padres Cards. Miles Mikey's on the mound. King of the mid.
Not right now.
Meatball Michaelis.
Toast, is it Dylan Ceased tonight or is it Dylan Deceased tonight? You like that? I do have a bet in this game. Jackson Merrill under a half base.
Oh, that's a lot.
I'm laughing at one of the comments.
He is so someone said
The
before.
JD.
Someone said before Modai looks like he competes in national Scrabble tournaments.
I didn't even see that one. That's
a good
funny.
one.
I like the JD Kong one made me laugh. Walks up to.
All right, Toast, share your Padres bullshit. -1.5, -2.5. What are you doing?
No, Padres first 5 on the run line at plus 100. And then I also, like I said, did the money line parlay with the Yankees. Just for the fact that I don't want to deal with, we have Suarez and Tanner Scott went back-to-back nights. And St. Louis should have everybody rested in their bullpen. So I do give St. Louis a tiny advantage in the later innings just because we don't have our 2 major guys. If they do are available, they're going to be a little bit the gas isn't full, I guess. But regardless, Dylan Cease, his last 3 starts, hasn't been the guy that he has been over his 7 starts before that. I think this is a very good get right spot. I like this revenge angle. He absolutely got throttled by got throttled by St. Louis at home last year, pitching for the White Sox. I think that he can come in here and pitch really well. again, this St. Louis team has been kind of off and on the last 2 weeks, but I just want to read out their game scores over the last 10 games: 4-3, 0-6, 3-10, 2-1, 5-6. Like, it's kind of all or nothing for them. Michaelis is coming off the game of his life against 6 innings, no runs against Miami. The previous 4 starts before that, he had been terrible, only going 4, maybe 5 innings and giving up 4 runs. The Padres already seen Michaelis once this year as well. I just feel like the Padres have way too many advantages in this one.
I actually kind of want to go the other way, but Modi?
Yeah, I have Michaelis under 2.5 strikeouts plus 140 odds.
It's at 2.5. I mean, I know he's a contact pitcher, but 2.5.
So it's the same thing as before. It's either 2.5 under for plus money, or it's 3.5 at like minus 170. There's like, if you could take like under 3 on like a DFS site, that's probably where I would rather go. But I think this is, again, similar to the other play where it's worth a half unit dart throw. It's a super low number, obviously. That's why Kyle freaked out about it. But and Michaelis has gone over the 2.5 number in 8 of his last 10 starts. So this is not a play because of like the win percentage or anything like that. But so he's gone over 8 again of his last 10. In 6 of the 8 games, he had exactly 3 strikeouts. So it's not like he consistently crushes it or anything like that. And if there was ever a time for him to not hit that floor of 3, it would be against the Padres. On the entire season, lowest strikeout rate against right-handed pitching, 17.7%. The last 30 days, still the lowest in the MLB. Last 14 days, 16.2% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. And then you look at Michaelis, the worst strikeout rate in the MLB of all qualified pitchers, 16.5% strikeout rate is, I think I could pitch the MLB and strike out more than 16.5% of the batters just by pure luck. 16.5% is terrible. So it's like the worst strikeout team against, or the best, depending on how you want to define it, against the worst strikeout pitcher. Absolutely worth a dart throw at plus 140 odds.
I'm going to bet the Cardinals. Like Toast said, Padres bullpen having some taxed issues. This poll is crazy. 80% to 12% Padres. The whole fucking planet is betting.
That's why I didn't want to play them full game.
Yeah, and I get taking Mikey is a little scary, but I would say Cardinals money line or live bet the Cardinals. If the Toast gets his 3-0 lead, Padres are going to win that first 5-run line. Maybe live bet Cardinals plus 3.5 or something. But I think I'm going to bet the Cardinals here and just fade the world.
And to be honest, God damn it.
Yeah. So yes, the Cardinals bats have gone cold. But you know what? In the last 30 days, this is still a top half lineup at home in this ballpark. Yeah, Cardinals money line. I'll be on my own little Cardinals island. I know everyone hates it.
Dude, this Mormon just came up to my house and he had a hood on and he almost got eaten alive.
Remember when Modi's dog barked and Toast was like, "Oh, my dog."
I'm glad he barked. That's when I want them to bark, when they think something's wrong. I'm just glad that they didn't hurt him.
All right, next game. Rangers. Heaney Crochet. I mean, this price is way too cheap for the Rangers, right? It's got to be Rangers. It's a lefty, right?
I wouldn't lay minus 142 with the Rangers if I was using your money.
So they're playing a team that's literally setting the record for most losses.
Then you got.
All right, take the White Sox.
I'm not betting this. I'm just saying that you guys are absolutely mad, crazy, not all there. If you're laying minus 140 with the Texas Rangers on the road, what are we doing? What are we doing? You can pass. It's okay.
Put White Sox up for him.
Jesus, my Lord, that was good. I agree with Toast though. Why not pass, Kyle?
You want to come on the camera and put a White Sox logo? No, Proppy, turn your camera on and put a White Sox logo.
No, you're sick in the head. Just pass.
Put Rangers up for me, please. Jesus.
Oh, this is great.
Modi, you're not silly enough to say some White Sox shit, right?
I passed on this game. I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
Have you looked at what Andrew Heaney's done his last 7 starts?
I'll look now. Okay. This is all I need to see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, none of those starts against the White Sox. Don't care. The only metric I'm looking for is number of starts versus the White Sox, and it's 0.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Nope. Not against the White Sox.
That sounds good.
Touche.
Honestly, I'm adding the Rangers to the list. Now I have 5 bets on the list now. It's a little much.
And you haven't even got to my favorite play of the day yet. I mean,
I could give a fuck about your favorite play of the day. Next up, Giants Brewers.
Speaking of the devil.
Oh, is this it? Is this it?
Yeah. I ain't touching this with Charizard's tail, Modai. That's what someone commented.
That's good. Who said that?
Too legit. The number
Too
two.
legit.
Oh, yeah. That was solid.
Good job.
So, Giants Brewers toast, quote unquote, favorite bet of the day. Let's hear it.
Yeah, Brewers money line minus 105. It's like minus 115 now. It doesn't matter. Logan Webb has been fantastic over his last 5 starts. Guess how many of those have been on the road? 1. If you go back to his last 7 starts, his 2 road starts at Colorado, at LA Dodgers, absolutely terrible. I will give you that Milwaukee doesn't really scare me offensively like the Dodgers do. But at the same time, this Milwaukee offense, I do trust them much more at home. I understand that they haven't performed as well at home in the last month or so. They've also spent a lot of time on the road, but not right now. We're getting Logan Webb on the road with a whip. Last 4 road starts, a whip ERA over 4.5 or close to 4.5, a whip at 1.65, an xFIP of 4.2. He's been pretty damn bad on the road. He is not the same pitcher. Not to mention the fact that Tobias Myers at home is like one of the definitions of a bet on pitcher. Last 6 home starts, a 1.7 ERA, a 0.92 whip, a 3.86 xFIP. He's doing extremely well at home today. Not to mention the fact that he's extremely good. He doesn't really do good against, I think, lefty bats. Was it? I just lost it. Yeah, he doesn't do well against lefty bats. I don't think there's very many lefty bats in the Giants.
I just looked. I think only 1, 2, 3, 4.
I didn't write that down. It was in my head, but yeah, and that's what it was. There's only 4 in there, and 2 of them are Mike Yastrzemski and Grant McCray. Who cares?
Whoa, Yaz is cool. Yaz is cool.
Yeah, he's cool because he has a cool last name and people like his grandpa. He's terrible. But yeah, Brewers money line for me. I think that they have an advantage in all 3 facets of this game.
Yeah, I'm taking Rangers money line off and replacing it with Brewers money line. I'm telling you, while you were talking, I was looking at the spreadsheets and yeah, I mean, you guys, I've been saying that for years. We're like Logan Webb, you can fade him on the road. There's value. And now he's on the road, been pitching a lot at home. And just like Toast said, what I didn't know was Tobias Myers in Milwaukee. Holy shit.
I know, dude.
This dude's just untouchable at home, apparently. Damn, he pitched 8 into the 8th shutout against the Reds. Just 3 base runners. 8 shutout against the Pirates. Man, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm with you, Brewers me up, Prop Beaver. Modai?
Yeah, you guys aren't going to like mine, but I have Logan Webb over 18.5 outs for plus 122. It's another one of those plus money dart throws. Him to pitch into the 7th inning, which is the risk on this one. Obviously, that doesn't happen to a lot of pitchers. But he's been awesome. Like, he's done this in his last 10 starts: 3.07 ERA, 2.72 FIP, 3.37 xFIP, and 3.76 Sierra. Which, Sierra is not quite as good as the other ones. He's gone over this number in 15 of his 27 starts on the year and 6 of his last 10. So pretty consistently gone over, and we're still getting it at the plus 122. Again, it's the risk that he has to pitch into the 7th inning. But this is kind of similar to the Schwelly play, where I'm not really fading the offense because I think the Brewers are terrible. Like, they're not bad against right-handed pitching. 11th best over the last 30 days, 23rd over the last 14. And I just like backing pitchers like Webb to pitch deep into games because he can rack up a higher pitch count, like 98 pitches per game on average over the last 10 starts. 4 times has he gone over 100. So it's one of these things where, like, I'll play a bunch of plus money bets like this, plus 122, you win half and you're making money. That's kind of the logic here. And this is another one of those.
And also, but I mean, I don't even think those are necessarily Brewers money line and Logan Webb over outs, because the Giants, Logan Webb could give up 5 in the first inning and they'll let him pitch 7 still.
Oh yeah, that's why I said that doesn't even bother me, because
it's like same shit with like Castillo. They do that with like those established starters that they trust. It doesn't matter if they get shelled, like they trust them to finish the start. So I wouldn't consider them directly correlated.
And the only other thing that I wanted to add too, is I forgot, is that the Brewers at home 38-24. They're just a different team at home. They barely lose. It's crazy.
Next up, Marlins, Rockies. Shout out Rockies. Shout out Rocky Mountains. Shout out Colorado. Shout out Russell Wilson. Shout out Sean Payton. Rockies game 3 yesterday. I guess he doesn't apply anymore. Yeah. So the Rockies were my win yesterday. I went 1-1. I'm inclined to say Rockies again, although it looks like the price has adjusted a bit here. Minus 150 is a lot different than a pick'em, and it's big old Cal on the mound. Big Cal.
Go see Cal.
I would like to just take the Marlins to score some runs here in Coors after being there, adjusting to the elevation and the crazy shit over there. But the total's at 11.5, which means it's going to be at least 5.5 on the Marlins team total over. So I guess just Marlins are pass, but it's going to be a pass.
Yeah, I was thinking about playing over an 11, but I don't know if I can get there. I will say that the Colorado bullpen is probably pretty scary now. Victor Vonda, which I know that probably one person in the comments might know who that is. He's been their closer for a long time. He throws like 99. He's on the 15-day DL, and now you have a couple guys that are just not nearly as good. And you have 2 of the top 3 arms, if you want to call them top arms, in the Colorado bullpen, working 2 of the last 3 nights. It's over or pass for me. I know that Cal has been somewhat decent over his last 7 starts, nothing special, but he's still giving up 2 or 3 runs every time he goes out there, and he's only pitching into the 5th inning. So you're going to have multiple shots at that Rockies bullpen, and we all know how bad that Miami bullpen is, regardless if they're rested or not. So they do have most of their guys available, but I mean, it's guys that I don't even know, and I love bullpens. So that's how bad the Miami bullpen is right now. So over 11, if it's at 11.5, that probably actually kind of likes the over even more because it continues to go up. I mean, the weather in Coors Field today is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's going to be 85 degrees with 14-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. It's Jesus. It's absolutely amazing.
Hold on. So I'm looking at this. I did not the Rockies must have switched their lineup around because they confirmed their lineup tonight. 5 lefties. I feel like they didn't have that many lefties earlier in the season.
It's because of Munoz.
Yeah,
he's terrible against lefties.
Yeah, that's what I was going to look at because if I was looking to see, I knew that. And I was like, hey, if the Rockies only have 3 or 4 lefties in the lineup, I might actually bet this. You got 5 lefties in the lineup. So let me guess, Modi, are we going with the McMahon hitting prop here?
No, not McMahon. So if I probably you're asked if I had a double dong. I want to know if Jesus Sanchez is playing. If he is, I like him to hit a home run. I haven't seen anything saying that he's not, but only FanDuel has odds out for him. So I don't really know what's going on with Jesus Sanchez. And the Marlins haven't put out their lineup. If he plays, then this will be a double dong game. But I don't have McMahon. I have Toglia. Toglia? I believe that's correct.
Toglia, yeah. Got to pronounce the G a little bit.
Toglia. Okay. So someone told me that it's a silent G. So now I don't know. Anyways.
Really? Because I heard it's funny because I've heard his name pronounced probably like 3 or 4 different ways. So I guess I don't really know either because I've heard a no L or a no G as well from.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, I love for him to hit a home run. So Rodri Munoz is like the ultimate home run pitcher. I guess now that Johnny Cueto's back, it might be Johnny Cueto, but before that, it was Rodri Munoz. He's got the worst home run per 9 in the MLB of all pitchers that have thrown at least 80 innings. He's at 81, so I just wanted to make sure I included him. But literally any pitcher, 80 or more, he's got the worst home run per 9 at 2.55. Nobody else is above 2. Against left-handed hitters, which Toglia is a switch hitter, so he's going to be batting lefty. That home run per 9 jumps all the way up to 3.65. Only Johnny Cueto's is worse than that. And that was last year for Cueto. Incredible weather for home run when you look at, Coors Field and the weather is super hot there. And Toglia is a switch hitter. He admittedly is better when he's facing left-handed pitching when he's batting righty, but he's also still good against lefties. It's not one of those things where just because he's better against one means he's bad on the other. He's good against both. And I had him yesterday. He didn't hit one, but I feel like there's no way that he's going to go again today in another awesome matchup without hitting a home run. And he's been relatively hot recently. So, McMahon's good. McMahon just hit one yesterday. I'm not going to talk. People like Doyle as well. This game,
he's not going to be in the lineup.
Is he not in?
Doyle in the lineup? I don't think he's going to play today. I don't know. I don't see him. Was he in the projected? Yeah, he's not playing today. He's not even in the lineup. Yeah, he's not playing.
Oh, I know he got scratched yesterday
because he wasn't in there yesterday either.
Yeah, you're right. They did announce their lineup. He's out. McMahon's good. I like Toglia a little bit better, but there's no way you could really play it wrong backing a batter on the Rockies, especially a lefty.
All right.
Dude, I might go Uncle Charlie.
Why do I hear?
Not bad.
Why do I hear my voice? Oh, that's what. Never mind. We're good. All right. Next game, please. Prop Beaver. What do we got next on the docket? We're just waiting for Prop Beaver to go to the next game. Oh, you already did. My bad. My bad.
You didn't play. You didn't play Seattle with us last night. I thought you did.
No, I said I was gonna, and I didn't because I'm a coward and a fool.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, and also I had my fantasy football draft with my high school friends last night, and it's like I'm 36 now. That's like the only time I see my high school friends all year. Basically, is the draft. So like, I get there early and just hang out with everybody and shit.
I don't care about your fantasy team, Kyle.
I'm loaded, bro. I'm loaded. This is my year. This is my year. I traded all my draft picks last year, stockpiled for this. Anyway, Rays Mariners in Seattle. Logan, fade me at home. Gilbert is on the mound. Jeffrey, underrated Springs, pitching for the Rays. Is it a Tampa?
Fade me at home. His last home start, he went 7 no-hit innings against the Grimace Mets.
Sweet. So Mariners then.
And before that, he went 6 innings, 1 run against the Phillies.
Oh, Mariners are locked then. You should bet it.
No. Not.
Then you're a little worried. Yeah, exactly. You can
not worried. Look at the price, bro. Look at the price.
Okay.
It's just very simple for me. There's not, in no world am I betting the Mariners at minus 155 or anything close to that nature. Not a chance in hell. So,
but not with Logan Webb at home either.
Logan Gilbert doesn't really bother me as much at home. I mean, I like him much better at home or much better on the road, but his last 2 road starts, he's been absolutely throttled. So I do expect Logan Gilbert to pitch well here today. Clearly, the Rays aren't hitting right-handed pitching at all. I honestly feel like the Dodgers was a fluke, absolute fluke, but regardless, Jeffrey Springs has been pretty good. I would lean under. This is like an absolute pure pass for me. The price doesn't make sense. I can't get there. I was trying to get there with Tampa Bay at plus money. I just couldn't get there because I just think Logan Gilbert pitches well today, and he's going to have that whole bullpen behind him, which he didn't have yesterday. So, again, I think Seattle wins. There's just not a chance in hell I pay that price.
So you wouldn't go Tampa team total over 2.5?
Jesus, 2.5.
That's what I'm saying.
What's the number on it?
Minus 130.
Yeah, I would play that. Fuck. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. 2.5. Modai.
Yeah, another one of my outs props, Logan Gilbert over 18.5 outs. This one, you're not getting as good of a price. It's only plus 104 at Bet Rivers and plus 100 everywhere else. It's like the books know that he's going to pitch into the 7th inning because it's rare you'll see an outs prop over 18.5 with such low odds. Gilbert's done it 16 of 26 starts in 5 of his last 10. So not quite as good as Webb or Schwellenbach, but also not terrible. And I mean, he has gotten rocked in 2 starts in this stretch against the Dodgers, which was his last start. And then against the Red Sox, he just got annihilated. Other than those 2, he has been pretty good. And even if you include those 2 starts in his last 10, like his overall stats look pretty good. 318 FIP, 308 xFIP, 321 Sierra. 3 really, really good numbers. And the Rays, I mean, worst offense in the WRC plus in the last 30 days against right-handed pitching, 2nd worst over the last 2 weeks. I just have a hard time seeing them getting to him. So yeah, I mean, even though you are playing a little bit of a lower price than you normally would, it's still plus 104, and I like it.
Someone just asked a question. I forget what the hell I was going to answer, actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't put it for Toast, though, because I kind of like that was mine. I don't think Toast is actually going to do that.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think I have to play it now. He's been giving this up almost like every. God damn it!
Not to mention. I know. Look, bias aside, I know you like the Mariners bullpen, and if you rewind a year ago, I would have sang the praises of Munoz. I don't trust this guy anymore.
No, me neither. No, he's not the same. I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. Yeah, I cannot argue that Tampa Bay team total. I think I just missed it. I don't know. I think I looked at the price and didn't look at it because. Yeah, I mean, Logan Gilbert's given it up, like I said, in 5 of his last 9 starts. I mean, in those starts that he didn't give it up to, like I said, the Mets, his last 2 starts, Mets and Phillies. But, I mean, besides that, it hasn't been great. So,
and that's what he's saying. Wait, hold on. He's saying Logan Gilbert's given up his 5 of the last 9. That's not including what happened after Logan Gilbert left the game and the bullpen took over, too.
Correct. 100% correct. I'm just looking at Logan Gilbert. Correct. Yes.
All right. So, let's go into the next one. We got what's on deck here. Grimace in a huge series, and honestly, a little bit of a heartbreaking end to the Mets-Padres series. I thought we were going to steal the third one. Obviously, blew the game at the end. But the Mets going out to San Diego against one of the Padres, one of the hotter teams in the NL, they'll take 2-2 there. And honestly, I think the Mets would take 2-2 in this one as well. They're starting a 4-game series against Arizona. These are the two teams the Mets are chasing, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Braves. So to split 2-2 in San Diego, if they're able to split 2-2 here against Arizona, they will gladly take that in this 8-game road trip and then make up the ground back at home in some more winnable series. So here they are in the first one. Manaya's been great. Eduardo Rodriguez, I don't know enough about, though. I mean, I know
it's Fott now.
It's Fott. Oh, I like Fott.
Is that true? Oh, that sucks.
Is true. According to my sources.
This line is crazy. The Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah, I'm on the Mets. I got the Mets plus 104. I don't care. This is a ridiculous.
Wait, you got it
ride.
at plus 104? It's a pick 'em now.
Yeah. Oh, then I'm even more happy. Yeah,
oh,
I got
no,
plus
it's not.
104.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's minus 105, so it's not a pick 'em.
Okay. Yeah.
Give me Grimace.
Yeah. I just, for me, I capped this game with Rodriguez, but even with Fott on the mound, it doesn't really change much for me. I just feel like Arizona, not only do I hate the spot for Arizona, coming home from an East Coast road trip, I get that they had a day off, but that doesn't really do much for me. They had a very, very good road trip. They've been playing really good baseball. The Padres, and the Dodgers have been the best team since the All-Star break. With that being said, I think the Mets probably should have won 3 out of 4 against the Padres. I don't think that's crazy. Friday night's the only game they didn't show up. I don't expect Diaz to just blow games like that. I know that he hasn't been the same, but again, Jackson Merrill is just a different beast, and you just can't really do anything about that. But regardless, I still feel like the Mets probably should have in their head won 3 or 4. And Manaya has been pretty damn serviceable for them. I mean, at home or on the road, he's pretty much going 7 innings and giving up 2 or 3 runs. And if that's so much the case, again, Arizona's been very, very hot. I will give you that. But, and there's a huge but behind that for me. What have I been talking about with Boston over the last week and a half? I don't think they're very good. So when you put up a whole bunch of runs off of a dog shit Boston pitching staff in Fenway with fantastic weather, doesn't really do much for me. If you put up a whole bunch of big numbers on a bad Miami team with a bad Miami pitching staff, again, doesn't do much for me. So if they're going to come home and get to this Mets pitching staff and Manaya, who's been really good, in a Mets bullpen that's been pitching better, so be it. But I could not pass up plus money with the Mets right now. They're just playing too good of baseball. Again, Arizona's playing fantastic as well, but I just felt like that plus money with the Mets, who were already on the West Coast. They had a day off as well. I just couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, I don't think I'll bet this one, but Mets sound good to me. It's Arizona against right-handed pitching scares me a lot more than against lefties, even though they have been hitting lefties too. By no means am I saying they've been struggling with left-handed pitching. But in the back half of the game, like Toast said, as much as you want to say about your worries about the Mets bullpen, I mean, have you watched the late innings of Arizona Diamondbacks games? Some of those have been a nightmare. So you have to say, even with the question marks that the Mets bullpen has been going through, that I still like that unit better than Arizona. I think the line's pretty telling as well. I mean, Arizona's ahead of the Mets in the standings. They got Fa on the mound against Benai. Go ahead.
You're muted.
Muted.
Arizona pitching over the last 14 days, 20th in WRC plus, 21st in OPS, 20th in WOBA.
No, but dude, 14 days for lefties is shaky though.
I'm just saying it's the last 2 or 3 they've seen, it hasn't been as terrible.
Okay.
It hasn't been an avalanche of runs every single time. That's my only point.
How about Manaya's history against Arizona? Because he used to pitch in that division. That'd be something. Let me look that up while Modai's talking.
I can tell you right now. The last he faced him earlier this year and got throttled. In 2022, he faced him twice, went 5 and 6 innings, gave up 2 or 3. Essentially, he gives up 6 innings, 2 or 3 runs every time he faces him.
All right, Modai.
Well, I had a home run prop based on Eduardo Rodriguez pitching. It was Francisco Lindor. I did not realize it was going to be Brandon Pfaadt, so I don't have anything for this game.
I appreciate it, Michael. So thanks for all the hard work you guys put in. Appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. Next up.
Man, Francisco Lindor has just been on an absolute tear, too.
He has. So he could still hit one, but like all my analysis was based off of him facing a lefty.
Yeah.
I get it.
If anyone tries to tell me CJ Abrams is better than Francisco Lindor again.
Who said that?
You want to say it? Go ahead. Speak up, Prop Beaver. Who said that?
No, he didn't. No, he did not.
Yeah. Oh, he sure did.
Listen, you know I'm an emotional creature. It was a dark time in my life. I was overeating.
At least he owns it. At least he owns it.
You know.
No, that was his perfect response.
All right. So great game here. Baltimore, big underdogs here. Goddamn, Cole Irvin at Dodger Stadium is crazy, dude. It's crazy. Toast, did you lay the 1.5?
Yep. Dodgers minus 1.5. They're back. Telling you guys. You guys know me. It's rinse and repeat. The Dodgers minus 1.5 is back. We're together again. Back and better than ever. Honestly, I don't even think about it, guys. It's Dodgers minus 1.5 until further notice. I truly don't even cap these games. I'm not even kidding. And you guys already know this.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to argue. It is paying out, and it's still getting at plus money. And I think it's a little hesitant because it's like, oh, it's Baltimore. But then you like look, and you're like, this team hasn't been playing well for a long time. I'm not betting it, but yeah, you could put Dodgers minus 1.5 up for me as well, Prop Beaver, when you get the graphics sorted. What about Matthew?
Yeah, well, I had Ohtani to hit a home run because I got him at plus 450, which just feels like an auto bet for Ohtani. That's now been nuked down a little bit. It's 375
wait.
now.
Why was it plus 150?
450.
No,
Did I say 150?
No. You said 450. I said it wrong. But why was it there?
I think it's because Cole Irvin's only given up one home run to lefties this season. But Ohtani's taken him yard twice in his career. There's a couple of extra base hits outside of that. So I wasn't really scared off of that. 375 isn't quite as good as plus 450. But I also like Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, to hit a home run. You can get that plus 470 at FanDuel.
The Fresh Prince.
I can't.
I can't.
I let it go. I gotta let it go.
I can't imagine that's the first time you guys have heard that.
No, it's for sure the first time I've heard that.
Really?
I mean, like, I've probably heard jokes. I've never heard Will Smith on the Dodgers being referred to as the Fresh Prince before.
Me
but
neither.
I mean,
Wow, I just assumed that everybody called him
dude,
that.
me and Toast are not very hip when it comes to like pop culture. Like,
That's true.
He's
At least
worse
you know
than
who
I am, but
At least you know who the Fresh Prince is. So he admittedly hasn't had like a ton of extra base hits or success against lefties recently, but on the year, significantly better against lefties, 260 ISO rate, 156 against righties. Sorry. And if you look at his game log recently, which he was a late ad, so I didn't fully write out my notes, but you should give me a second to pull up his game log against him recently. Against lefties, even though he hasn't like taken a pitcher yard or hit an extra base hit, which like, yeah, that's not great. Look at what he's done recently against left-handed. Sorry, I'm trying to get my notes and I can't get it to load. So all right, his last couple at bats, 97 off the bat, fly out, 104 off the bat, line out, 96 miles per hour off the bat, double. So he's been hitting the ball hard. He hasn't quite been able to get it out of the park, but he's been consistently hitting the ball relatively hard. He's also been consistently putting it in the air. And he's got pretty good stats specifically against the four-seam fastball, the curveball, and the changeup, which are the top three pitches that he'll see from Cole Irvin. And while Cole Irvin's only given up one home run to lefties, he gets absolutely crushed by righties. So Will Smith, I liked just the pitch mix a little bit better. A lot of people are probably going to be on Mookie Betts for similar reasons. I'm not going to talk anybody out on Mookie Betts. You're getting a little bit of a better price on Will Smith, and I think that it's a little bit of a buy low opportunity because people are going to see that he's like his ISO rate's low. He hasn't hit a ton of home runs recently, but he's still been hitting lefties hard, and he's also significantly better against them. So the plus 470 for Will Smith, I think, is really good, and now better value than the 450 for Ohtani.
Yeah, and Will Smith, just for the record, guys, 2 for 3 against Cole Irvin with a double in his career, and he hits lefties at 930. He's a 930 OPS guy versus lefties compared to like a 697 versus righties. So he's absolutely crushing lefties.
all right, is that the last? Shall we hit the song? Give me your song, Prop Beaver.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay, yeah.
All right, let's get to community parlay. And just a reminder, we're doing the Philadelphia Eagles right after, and then we're going through 6 college football games, week 1. So we'll be giving out some picks for college football for those of you that want to stick around, talk some real sports. But all right, let's get the community parlay started. Community parlay was hot. It hit 3 out of 5. Has it lost 2 in a row now? I don't know if it
3
won
out
yet.
of 5. Wow.
It hit 3 out of 5. Yeah. Actually,
really
I think it started on the day you were on is when that started.
Hell yeah.
All right. So they like Cleveland, the Guardians. They like the Cublets,
The couplets.
Phillies, and the Tigers. And while they're voting, Matthew, would you like to tell them where they can find your stuff if they found you compelling?
Yes. If you found me compelling, you can find me at my Twitter handle that you see. I guess it was on the screen here at Jedi Modai. I'll post YouTube videos that I put put out on my channel, or articles that I write for Newsweek. But anything that you could possibly find, you could find it on my Twitter. So just check me out there at Jedi Modai.
Yep, and he does a daily upload on his YouTube channel where he goes through the home run props and all that. And it's not just baseball. I mean, a lot of people find him during baseball, but he does a lot of basketball, football. He does it all over there. So sure you show him some support.
Basketball was my best season by far.
Yeah, I know. You were killing it.
I think that's probably the best season I'll ever have in my life in an individual sport, but we'll see.
Don't put a ceiling on it, bro.
I mean, it's true. You never know.
You never know. All right, so let's see. What are they voting for here? It looks like it's going to be Tigers. Tigers in the community parlay in a runaway vote. You don't see it very often. That's called the Johnny Cueto effect. Reds money line, Yankees money line, Blue Jays money line, Braves money line. There's a guy in here with an Eagles logo ready for the preview. Never a good sign. Like, what do you mean you don't think we're winning 15 games? Football fans, like, they're the best because he gets the most traffic and they're the most engaging, but also, like, spoiler alert from someone who reads a lot of comments, gets a lot of comments on football content. Every single football fan thinks their team's going over the win total. Like, it's not.
So I posted a video of like moneyline underdogs I like for week 1. I have the Eagles losing because I really like the Packers this year. Sneak preview, and someone commented like, I swear Eagles fans are the most delusional fan base. I was like, I'm taking them to lose in week 1. Like, what are you?
I actually think I like the Eagles in that game. The Yankees money line, but
Is that the second play of the Yankees?
Yeah, the second leg is the Yankees. Now we're going Padres money line, Rangers money line. Did they like toast Brewers pick? Yeah, they did. Brewers money line, and then Rockies money line. Yeah, it's not that. No, I didn't mean like negative towards football fans in that sense. It's just like when I'm doing a video, right? We're talking about like the numbers and stuff. It'll be like a guy responds that's a fan of the team, and it's like, well, dude, if you don't realize that you're coming from a place that isn't objective, then like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, passionate fans.
I promise you, we ain't losing week 1. He's talking about the Eagles. We're upsetting the Eagles. Titans money line week 1. You hear that, Prop Beaver? Prop Beaver's fired up.
Dude, after getting Ernest Jones, that Titans defense is legit. I am all in on that Titans defense. The offense scares the life out of me after Sadiq Charles essentially retired or whatever the fuck. So that's a bit scary. And Will Levis, I mean, holy Lord.
Your mic's coming in a low volume. Might want to turn it up a little bit.
Turn that shit up? All right. But, I mean, otherwise...
Turn that shit up to 100.
Otherwise, the defense, I'm all in on. I like the coordinator. He's going to be extra aggressive. Going to have Awuzie and my friend Sneed playing press at the line. All in on the Titans defense, but the offense just needs to not be pissed, and we're all good there. We're all in on the over at the plus money.
Absolutely not.
What's the third? It looks like Padres got this next poll. And you know what it is? It's because hold on, let's get I can explain some psychology behind it. It's pretty obvious. But anyway, so it's let's say Mariners, Mets, Dodgers. It's Mariners, Mets, Dodgers, and then are you typing?
Really love that team.
Mariners, Mets, Dodgers, and then pick a second place. Mariners, Mets, Dodgers. So it's kind of like it's kind of congruent with so these people that are football fans, which is like all of us, a lot of them watch content from their team. Like they'll watch a Packers podcast or an Eagles podcast, and it's kind of like getting your political news from CNN or Fox News. Like obviously they're giving you affirmation. They know you're going to continue to watch if you tell them things that they like to hear. People want affirmation over information. So if you watch a podcast, now I'm not saying that no fans are capable of being objective. Of course, there are plenty of people in the comments that are probably able to be objective about their team. But as a whole, you're going to hear a messaging that's going to resonate with the fan base. They want to be optimistic. They want to sell tickets, and you know how it is.
I feel like if you listen to like beat reporters and stuff, there are some objective beat reporters you can get non-biased views on the team that you root for. I feel like getting your news from the actual team itself. Yeah, that you can't take anything they say seriously. But if it's like beat reporters and stuff, then that's different.
I feel
498
like
Beaver.
Plus 498, the community parlay. Tigers money line, Yankees money line, Padres money line, Dodgers money line plus 498. Let's get another one on the board for the community. Toast, have a good evening. Talk later. But yeah, I think, because think about it. How do you become a beat reporter with a team? You have to get in with the team. You have to get. I think they're going to give media access to the beat reporters that are down to share the messaging that they're.
I disagree. I don't think that the team has any influence on who like the. Well,
I thought they control who has access to the.
No.
I think they do, dude.
Well, no, they control who gets credentialed, but they don't have control over who those companies hire. They just give.
Like, no, I know that.
Yeah.
But to make a thing for me and Modi somehow, but me and him have been on the screen already. This makes no sense.
It's all right. It takes 2 seconds.
All right. Sorry.
But
freak out.
Like for example, in Dallas, doesn't Jerry Jones own like 6 or 7 local media? Like
that, I don't know. I don't know about Dallas. I know that for the Eagles have some reporters that are like the opposite, are overly negative about the team. But I can't speak for other teams, I guess I should say.
No, I can't either, and I'm more like speaking inquisitively, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree if you're getting your content from the actual that's put out by the team media itself, that's totally different. That's obviously going to be not subjective at all.
All right, let's talk Eagles. Prop Beaver's going to join us in just a minute.
I have to
wear
this.
All
right.
Yeah.
You have to wear that. You have to wear it. And Prop Beaver's putting it on the.
I have the green screen filter.
No, but he'll turn it off in a second. He's just getting the names fixed first. Is it under P video stuff? You could sort by date modified. There you go. All right. Now he'll get the screen set up. Harbaugh already banned a reporter for asking questions. He said.
I did.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, I know as a whole, it's not like a direct. You say something negative about the team, you're gone. But I like not so black and white like that. But I think as a whole, if you're
which Harbaugh already banned.
I don't know. I just was reading a comment. I don't know.
It's probably the Chargers one because the team's pissed.
Can you turn off the green screen so they could see the green in Modi's hat?
Yeah.
Because that's really
important. It is very important.
It's filters. All right. Let's talk about the Eagles. Go ahead, gentlemen. You got to turn the...
I thought I hit chroma key. No?
Hit the filters and put the eyeball next to... That must not be Modi's camera.
What does... Oh. Okay.
There we go.
All
right, talk about the Eagles.
Oh, now we're talking. All right. So yeah, anyways, as an objective person that has no affiliation with the team, no, I'm just, in all seriousness, I'm curious what you guys think, because I have no idea what to think about the Eagles this year. Like I listened to every podcast about their, followed every practice report. Jalen Hurts apparently looked good. The receivers looked good. Who knows what the offensive line is going to look like without Kelsey. I don't know. I felt like they should have fired Nick Sirianni at the end of last year when they were literally the worst team in the NFL. and I don't really know how you recover from that. And whenever if this was any other team, I see a situation where they replaced both the offensive and the defensive coordinator, but kept the head coach. That is like the biggest red flag that you can possibly see.
The kiss of death.
It is
100%
kiss of death. Yes.
Yeah. Find me an example where that worked out. I can't think of one. It's different if the
Tomlin gets a new OC every 2 years, but that dude could go 1-16 and they would give him an extension. So.
Yeah, and Tomlin at least has been coaching since 2008. Like Sirianni's, this is his 4th year in the NFL, and like he had the most talented team in the league in 2022. And yeah, they went to the Super Bowl, but like they lost their offensive coordinator, and then the team was a total joke last year. So I don't know. I really have no idea what to think. Like I want to be optimistic because I'm a fan, and because like the reports out of camp is that Hurts was legitimately awesome in training camp. Like he threw 1 interception. It was the last day of practice. That he was legitimately good, but. So like a lot of moving parts, and like their secondary was terrible last year. Ton of new pieces, but that doesn't necessarily mean better. It just means different. And again, they're replacing Kelsey at the offensive line for the first time since like 2010. So I don't know. Like I'm curious what you guys think. I could be convinced either way.
Someone in the comments said, Kyle, is the secondary good enough to stop Love? And they're previewing the Eagles season, but I could share my thoughts on that game really quick. And I haven't done a full handicap of the game or anything. My bet on the Eagles, or my lean on the Eagles, I should say, I haven't bet it, is more of a sell high spot on Jordan Love. I mean, if this game was being played in week 10 of last year, the Eagles would be laying more than a touchdown. So it's more just like a sell high overreaction. And by the way, this is coming from somebody that was heavy on betting the Packers every single week in the second half of that season. I had the Packers against the Cowboys. I took the Packers to cover against the 49ers too. Like I was betting Jordan Love on that run. So by no means am I anti-Green Bay or anti-Jordan Love. I just think you combine the second half run of the season with the fact that Jordan Love just got the contract, and all of a sudden the general consensus is Jordan Love is a top 5 quarterback, and it's not even debatable. When it's like, well, hold on. We saw a half a season. We also saw Jalen Hurts look like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL not a year and change ago. So this stuff does this, and sometimes when there's something like this, people just assume they're going to continue to see it come in at that production level. And look, based on a half season, we're all of a sudden willing to say, Jordan Love's miles better than Jalen Hurts. I'm not sure about that. I mean, Jalen Hurts is pretty freaking good. He had a down year. Is anyone going to be surprised if Jalen Hurts turns out to be a better quarterback this year? I don't think so. And it's just more, I would be leaning towards the Eagles without looking at the game, without handicapping the game. I'd be leaning towards the Eagles based on being a sell high spot on Green Bay and a sell low spot on Philly, just because of the extreme dramatic shifts we saw in the second half of this season. But yeah, I like I said, that was just my thoughts on that first game. I wouldn't say I'm fading the Packers on the season or anything like that. It's just as far as the first game, those would be my thoughts on it. Not to mention, I would imagine pretty much most folks are coming in on Green Bay based on how the season ended. So I think the Phillies win. The Eagles win in that one. Prop Beaver, did you have any thoughts on the Eagles?
Yeah. In terms of the
Can you turn the volume up on your mic? You see how it's not coming in?
Yeah. In terms of the Eagles on a season-long basis here, I mean, it's hard to it's hard to really give another under here, because I've gone and done some self-analysis here. I think I've given 7 straight unders here on the channel. I don't know if I hate every team in football, so I need to chill with that. But yeah, I guess my issue here with the Eagles is the main fact that they do have the kiss of death here. The Eagles' main collapse wasn't really on the offensive side of the ball. If you look at the offensive ranks here, the EPA per play fell for the what is it? The EPA per play ranks fell on the offensive side of the ball from 5th to 14th, from 5th to 16th, and from 5th to 7th in terms of EPA per play, EPA per dropback, EPA per rush. But then when we go to the defense, that's where this defense was just fraudulent the entire year. Weeks 1 through 12, 23rd in EPA per play, 20th in EPA per dropback, 17th in EPA per rush. But this unit was much better in terms of scoring defense. So they were 10-1 during that period, but yet they were that bad in terms of defense. It's hard to be 10-1 yet that bad defensively. It just didn't match up. So to be 9th in DVOA but 10-1, they were one of the worst teams ever to be 10-1 and to have a 10-1 record at that point of the season. So it just wasn't matching up. And then once we got to weeks 13 to 18, I just really think regression hit them like a pile of bricks, and it got really bad. 31st in EPA per play, 29th in EPA per dropback, 31st in EPA per rush. And now they head into this year with a group that I'm just really not in love with. I mean, the secondary, if we're just looking at the cornerback room, this is a room that lacks some serious experience here. Besides, I mean, Darius Slay Jr., we've got Mitchell, who's a first-round rookie, DeJean, who's a second-round rookie, Ringo, who's a fourth-round sophomore. Slay Jr. honestly took a big step back last year. He did not look like himself. And then on top of that, Bradbury was looking like an awful contract last year. I don't know why the hell you guys extended him for that big of money. I know he looked great in 2022, but to sign him to that big of guaranteed money, $20 million, that was pretty brutal. And then on top of that, you bring in CJ Gardner-Johnson, who I believe one of the quotes this offseason was that he doesn't respect the position room regarding Darius Slay Jr., somebody in his own team. I don't get it. So that nutcase is back. Just weird things going on with the Philadelphia Eagles as usual. So yeah, interesting things going on there. Vic Fangio is a highly respected guy. Everybody tries to emulate his defense, but what happens with Vic Fangio defenses? It takes about 2 years for them to mold together. Ask Miami. They wanted the Vic Fangio defense to come together really quickly, and they were 19th in DVOA last season. So while I think this defense almost has to take a step forward by default, they were 29th in DVOA last year. I can only really see them going up to about, 18th, 24th in terms of ranks. And I don't know if that's really a team that's worth betting for 11 wins here at -140.
Their schedule isn't bad, though. In fact, I think they're 4-1 going into that Giants game.
Okay, so should we pull up the schedule?
Yeah, pull up the schedule.
The one thing I will say, though.
The schedule is easy.
Yeah. I mean, Kellen Moore, I'm a massive fan of. So there's that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's really not. This schedule is really not bad. I do think they'll drop one of those road games between week 3 and 4. Yeah, I think they'll drop one of those. But I like them to beat Green Bay and Atlanta, and I also like how they get Cleveland at home in Philly off the bye. I think that's a win as well. Probably drop either Giants or Cincinnati. They'll drop one of those. I mean, you would think it's Cincinnati, but also like Giants division game. If they drop that one, I would also take Eagles as dogs on the money line in the Cincinnati game after that. So let's give them one of those losses. That puts them only at 2. Jacksonville, Dallas, they'll drop one of those. 3. Washington's a win. They'll probably win in LA. Probably at Ravens is a loss. 4. Carolina, Pittsburgh, at Washington. I mean,
it's an easy schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I think they get to 11. I would say, yeah, 11-6, man. Put me up for an over.
If I were to give out, I'd probably lean towards the over as well. I just feel like
with the kiss of death.
I mean, the kiss of death is admittedly scary. I mean, it's also like when you look at Nick Sirianni, it's like it's the Office Space meme. It's like, what would you say you do here?
Here's where I will get to you with the over. I'm doing over. It's getting embarrassing the amount of unders I've taken, so I will get to the over by default.
Well, hold on. Don't take the over because of that. Do you actually think they get to 11?
Well, looking at the schedule here, yeah, I mean, Green Bay. I still think that Green Bay defense needs to prove something to me. And thank God they are susceptible to the run. So
and their fans are such
I think Jalen Hurts should tear that shit to shreds. So yeah, I think Kellen Moore is going to tear that shit to shreds. So yeah, I'm going to take Jalen Hurts and the boys against the Green Bay there. Same with the Falcons defense. Again, Kellen Moore adding some surprising elements to an Eagles offense I think was kind of getting a bit figured out last year. I feel like that was the one thing that was starting to hurt the Eagles offense at the end of last year. They were starting to get a bit figured out with it. It was getting a bit too predictable. I was reading something in the FTN thing. Too long to explain. We're not going to get into it. But that was the main thing. That was the main bugaboo. It was getting a bit too predictable. Kellen Moore, he's not that. He's exciting. He introduces the motion. We're going to get a bit less static in this bitch. So I think that should help. Kellen Moore, lead us to the promised land. Looking at the schedule, okay, Atlanta, they're ass.
All right, I got a loss for you. All right, this is the game they're going to lose. Week 3 at New Orleans. So, all right, so you're coming off. They beat the Falcons. Would you listen for a second?
We're not losing to the freaking Saints.
Yeah, of course. Coming from the guy with a giant ass Eagles hat. Listen up. All right, so Monday Night Football, they beat the Falcons, right? Big game. Short week going to New Orleans. They get upset. Then, coming off the loss, they get their revenge on the Bucs and beat the brakes off them in front of their home fans.
I think they're more likely to beat the Saints and lose to Tampa Bay.
No, they're not.
No, because you know what? You know what Bowles does? He puts that stupid face on. And he sends the blitz, and Hurts can't handle the blitz. They can practice the blitz all summer, and as soon as the blitz comes, he's like, God damn it, man. He just can't handle it.
I'm taking Saints money line in week 3. Book it. All right.
The Saints are my favorite win total under.
Do we have over-under graphics for the Eagles or no?
Yeah, we do. I'm just trying to. I was trying to delete these and get to the temp. So
I'm on I got him at 11-6. Give me the over.
Yeah, I'm trying to get overs up for the boys. You know, I just like unity, and I think I like having the graphics up. It makes it look pretty, and I think you guys got me onto the over here. I do.
11 wins.
Kiss a dash schmifferdef, you know?
Yo, hold on. Don't paint me with that brush, bro. I am not so high on the Saints. I think they're better than people think because the Saints are getting painted as a shitty team.
Their O-line is
the Saints are a 500 football team.
That's the problem.
No, they're not. They're the worst O-line in football. With freaking Derek Carr as their quarterback.
Okay, well, I think Derek Carr is getting painted as an atrocity.
Exactly.
And really,
the whole team is.
I just think he's mid. And I think
Saints might have the best secondary in the league.
Okay in the NFC South.
Saints might have the best secondary in the league, in a passing league.
That is true.
All right.
You don't want to be pressed up with Paolo Adebo. Well, I think I messed up that one.
Paulson
Adebo.
All right, let's talk real ball. Let's get to some bets that are happening within the next few days. College football. Modi, thanks for joining, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
sir.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
All right, let's get Andrew and Scoopins on.
Oh, Scoop's coming on, Lordy.
Yeah, Scoop is actually going to. Whose mic is making that noise? It's Scoop.
Oh, God.
Can you unplug and plug your mic back in, Scoop? It's making a crazy noise. All right, UTEP, Nebraska. We probably should have put the better games up first. We have like 3 shittier games, and then it's a 32.5 point line, bro. Lil Drew coming on. Scoop's got the ESPN chime on his phone.
You good enough?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. First of all, Beaver, Beaver does not know pigskin whatsoever. The Eagles' offense was good in the last 8 weeks, bro. Beaver can read that defense. It was atrocious. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, look at my EPA per play with the 14. Oh,
wow, it came on firing shots at Prop Beaver.
Yo, Dickwad Von Nessen. All I was saying is that
also the Titans are great. Titans are great.
All I was saying is that it was halfway decent. You fucking asswad. That's all I was saying.
Titans are going to be
that wasn't the real
excellent.
Problem. It was the
fucking
defense.
The Titans are going to go to the championship.
Titans defense is going to be excellent.
All right. Anyway, UTEP, Nebraska. The question with this one is Nebraska going to be able to get up and over 28 points? Because that's what they're laying, 27.5. And then on paper, I don't think there's any question that Nebraska is 4 touchdowns better than UTEP, especially at home here. We already did a Nebraska preview, so we won't go through the whole thing, but a very, very brief summary. Nebraska's loaded up. If you're a Nebraska fan, you're pumped right now. I mean, they got the 5-star quarterback, Dylan Raiola. People are comparing him to Mahomes. No bullshit. People are saying this guy's just like Patrick Mahomes. 8 of the top 10 offensive linemen back. They got a couple running back transfers, and they have a couple big running backs, 6'2", 225, freight train type running backs. Defense is loaded. This was a great run defense last year. 5 of the top 6 defensive linemen back, 6 of the top 8 linebackers back. It's going to be extremely difficult to A, run the ball in Nebraska, and B, stop Nebraska's rushing attack. And they have a quarterback who, granted, is a freshman, they're saying is going to be the man, the number 1 pick in the NFL draft in a few years. So the question is, and where I'm a little hesitant to lay the points here, the way Nebraska plays, the way Matt Rule coaches, they're going to run the ball, control the clock. They're not in any hurry to run plays. I think they were like 111th in pace last year. They're not in any hurry to get up on the line of scrimmage. So I'm a little Nebraska minus 27.5 would be my pick. Robbie, you could put that up because just on paper, there's so many questions with this UTEP defense. I love the coaching hire. They brought in we talked about Nebraska. They brought in Austin Peay, basically the entire Austin Peay staff. The UTEP, that is. But first week of the season on the road in Nebraska, completely outmatched. They're not going to be able to run the ball. The defense has all new faces. Nebraska should win this game comfortably. I'm just a little worried about the style of game we should see here because Nebraska's not in a hurry to get up and down the field. They're going to run the ball, control the clock, which might make it a little challenge. I mean, if Nebraska has a couple of those 6-minute drives that end in field goals, even if they're in complete control of the game, it might end up screwing us here. So Nebraska minus 27.5, or what is UTEP's team total under? It's got to be lowish. No, that was FAU's we were looking at. I'll pull it up right now while these guys are talking.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're big on the minors this year.
I am, but not week one.
I'm a little upset with you, but I wish this line was 28.5, but I'm taking the 27.5 with UTEP. I actually put it on one of my picks on the site. Scotty Walden, baby. I know Nebraska's been, like you just said, everything about Nebraska, really. I mean, they're getting better every year. I mean, they haven't proved it yet, obviously, but Austin Peay Jr. Will take it to Nebraska here. UTEP had one of the better defenses last year. A lot of their weapons are from Austin Peay. Everyone's obviously high on Raiola. He's already predicted to be, number one in the draft, blah, 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 all-American freshman team. But Javon Jackson is going to be a key piece for UTEP, and Trey Goodman. McConnell's probably going to start here for UTEP. I kind of wish it was Locklear, but Nebraska is obviously going to be competitive. They're going to make a bowl game this year. They haven't in 8 years. Like you said, I think they should stick it to the ground here more. They would carve up UTEP's run defense, in my opinion, but I think they're going to air it out more than they should here, trying to show off their new freshman quarterback. Some freshman trouble's going to get going here. I don't trust Nebraska. What has Nebraska done in the last 10 years? You're going to back just a true freshman. Oh God, God's gift to Nebraska here, and then we're going to just play with him the whole time. Yeah, no, 27.5 for UTEP. I'm taking UTEP.
You are underestimating Matt Rule. Matt Rule is a great coach, and what Nebraska did in the 9 years previous to him arriving is irrelevant. Since he got there, his quarterback was Jeff Sims. So last year, he did the best with what he had. He's got a really good team, and I think Matt Rule is smart enough to not try to let Raiola throw 5 touchdowns in this game and run the football, because if Nebraska hands the ball off in this game, they win comfortably.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would lean Nebraska. I'm more on the total. I actually do like the under. I think that UTEP's going to struggle to do anything. I said this in the Nebraska preview. I see no holes on this roster. I think this is every unit is stronger. It doesn't matter what they've done in the past. I think this team's far better than what they were. And I don't necessarily think he's going to let him throw the ball 35, 40 times or whatever in his first game. I think they're going to try to be slow, try to ease him in early. That'll hold him back a little bit. That'll leave the total down, but I don't think UTEP's going to score much at all. 7 to 10 points at most. I think this game will be like 35-7 in that range. So I would lean to take Nebraska here on that number.
So the team total for UTEP just looked. There's a 9.5 on DraftKings.
Over.
And a 10.5 on FanDuel.
Also, I am on Nebraska on my college football and Road to Glory. I'm a wide receiver, and Raiola always overthrows me, man. I'm getting so pissed off. So yeah, I don't like Raiola right now. So give me some time.
Maybe you're just a garbage receiver. Ever thought of that?
That's good possibility.
I like the Trey Jr. just said 38-7. I like that. That might be, maybe that's the score.
38-7.
That's a good
35-10.
I stick in my under there. So
both of those stay under the total. Yeah. Next up is Colorado State, Texas. This is all right. This is another one where you can kind of say, all right. So if you're a Colorado State fan, you're excited for the season. You got your quarterback back, Fowler Nicolosi, who has shown us dude can score points. They've also got their star wide receiver back. Their offensive line is back. I mean, Colorado State's offense, there's not many negatives you could say. As far as the Mountain West goes, this is a very tough offense. They're going to score points this year. Problem is, they're in Texas. And look, Texas did lose a ton of weapons offensively. I mean, they're all in the NFL. You know who they are already. But, I mean, they've got running backs for days. And I worry about the strength of this Colorado State defense. And it's almost, probably shouldn't even use the word strength and Colorado State defense in the same sentence. But the strength of the Colorado State defense last year was stopping the run. And they got crushed. So they lost a ton of production on the defensive line. So, I mean, you got Texas here. Kind of the same thing I said about Nebraska. Well, what's to stop them from just handing the ball off 50 times in this game and keeping Fowler Nicolosi off the field? And when he comes on the field, force them to be down 14 points before he even is able to stand still. So I think over would be the play here. But if this is another one where clock management might screw up what goes on in this game. On paper, both Texas should be able to do whatever they want on the ground. And even without all those weapons, it's Texas. They're loaded. But the Texas running the ball and playing this game conservatively is going to keep me off this one. But it would be over a pass. Maybe a Colorado State team total over. If you want to try to sneak a late touchdown to get it, I could see that because it's Fowler Nicolosi and that Colorado State offense can probably score points on the Texas second unit when it gets to that point in the game. So it'd be over for me. Might end up betting this, but as of right now, I don't have it open.
You can go, Andy.
Yeah, I actually tend to think that Colorado State can cover this number. I think the number's a little high. Like I said, I think they can score. Like you said, I think they'll be scoring. Problem is they're going to give up 50-plus points in this game. I mean, Texas isn't going to stop. If they're up 41, let's say they're up 41-14, and they go to their backups, Arch Manning's not going to just hand the ball off. I mean, they want him to throw the ball. A lot of people, obviously, you know who Arch Manning is. They want to see him make plays. They want to see him get clicks on ESPN after he comes in the game. Like, that's a thing for Texas. Texas is a flashy school, so I think this offense is going to be full go the whole game, which is why I'm heavily on the over here. I know the over is 60 and a half.
You're with me on the over.
Yeah, I'm with you on the over. I tend to think that Colorado State's going to cover. I think. So
you would agree with the Colorado State team total over?
Yeah, my score and the idea in this one was like 48-28, something like that, 48-21. Like I think it's going to be. Yeah, I mean, Texas can put their backups in, and I think their backups would give up a lot of points on this offense. This is one of the better offenses in the Mountain West.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part is I think Texas is just not going to stop scoring because even if they go to their backups, backups.
Ready for this? Colorado State team total over. You can get a 13.5.
Yeah, I would take that. But yeah, that's good. And I will give Colorado State's offense credit here is that they're going up against the Texas defense that lost a lot, and they're really not that good coming into the year. And to mention for Texas's offense, they're now without their projected running back one. He's out for the year, so they're already at 2 in that unit. Granted, it's Texas; they're highly recruited guys, but none of them have experience. So this is that maybe they can't get the run game going. Then Ewers has to take over and throw the ball a ton. So I just think this is going to be quick scores and on a lot of points.
Yeah, I like that. And also, I like what was Texas elite at last year? Stopping the run. They were probably the best run defense in the FBS last year. Colorado State ain't trying to run the ball, man. They're trying to throw the ball. So I like that, too. Over 13.5? Yeah, you know what? I might dabble with that. It's not a bad look, especially considering such a low number, 13.5. This game's 45-6 in the third quarter. I'm still live. Like, I still can get there. So I'll write it down. So, Scoop?
Yeah, this Colorado State team has a lot of potential this year, I think. I think they'll be competitive in most of their games. I mean, Braden Fowler, Nicolosi led the Mountain West in passing yards per game. This is definitely an air raid type of offense. These larger spread games, I tend to lead towards the underdog to cover. I know Texas is loaded. They brought in a bunch of transfers, including a few from Bama, like Bond and their tight end, and I can't remember his name. But Trey Horton's one of the better wideouts in the Mountain West. I mean, he was 8th in receptions nationally, is 11th in receiving yards. I'm not a Steve Sarkisian fan. I think Texas is going to have a rough go in the SEC personally this year. Not a rough go, but I mean, probably 9 wins, I would say. This Colorado team's it's going to be very improved from last year. When Norvell came over, they were god awful. They had like 59 scholarship players, which is extremely low. They're back up to 85. Their O-line's back. They're 4 or 5 returning from last year. And their defense, 7 defensive starters came back and will be an athletic team. Plus, Colorado State 6-2 against the spread versus ranked teams the last 8 years. 10-3 against the spread and against when they were underdogs of 21 plus the last 8 years too. This team's going to make a bowl game this year. I'm high on Colorado State. I also love the running backs this year, even though they're more of a pass team. But Marshall and Henderson are both redshirt freshmen. They're gonna have great years in the Mountain West, I think. So yeah, I'm on the points too.
Wow, we all kind of think similarly about this game. I like it. And by the way, Scoop, someone in the comments said Raiola is more talented than Mahomes. NFL's going to be a breeze. He'll win 3 natties first and then 7 rings. So it seems like. The overthrows in your road to glory.
Yeah, I was going to say, I guess I'm a really bad wide receiver. I'm not running my routes correctly.
All right, next, please. What's up? FIU, Indiana. This is a really tough one because you know what is crazy about this one? So, obviously, the line is 21.5, right? 9-win Indiana. Home against FIU laying 21.5. And the reason that's peculiar is last year, Liberty on the road at FIU was laying 22. So Liberty, a Conference USA team, was laying more points than this on the road at FIU. Now, we do have to mention this FIU team is definitely going to be improved. We mentioned this team might actually have a solid little Conference USA pass rush here. They brought in some edge rushers and also brought back the guy. All their running backs are back as well on the offensive end. Keon Jenkins at quarterback. Say what you want about him. I mean, it doesn't always look pretty, but they find ways to score points with this kid Jenkins. And he wasn't even supposed to be the starter last year. He took over after a couple of games. So a year under his belt as the starter, he should probably only get better. FIU 34th in returning production, which is a ton for a Conference USA school. Usually their best players hit the portal. So they're bringing back a lot of production from last year. 4 starters back on the offensive line. Things look pretty good for FIU. Problem is, I have questions about their defense, and this Indiana team is just one huge question mark. Like I said, they're saying 9-win Indiana. It's the start of a new era in Indiana. Signetti takes over from James Madison.
That's because Rourke, too, from Ohio, is going to just air it out constantly.
Right. So Indiana this year is basically James Madison from last year with Curtis Rourke at quarterback.
Right.
So I'm going to lay it here. Which
I literally wrote that down.
Yeah.
I was like, it's James Madison from last year with Rourke as quarterback.
Yeah. They brought in, so Signetti's here, James Madison coach. Tom Allen's gone, and he brought so many of his James Madison pieces here. Now, yes, there's a transition from playing in the Sun Belt Conference to playing in the Big Ten, but they're opening up against FIU, which is actually beneath the Sun Belt Conference. I think the move here would be to lay the 21.5 points. I'm not thrilled about it, but it's week 1. There's going to be question marks everywhere. Curtis Rourke, he's experienced, definitely better than what they had last year, and based on the fact that this line, I mean, do you think this line is indicative of how bad Indiana was last year, or is this line indicative of people being big on this FIU team this year? I think it's a reflection of how bad Indiana was last year, which I think is a little bit bullshit because this Indiana team looks nothing like last year's Indiana. It's a completely different team. So how bad Indiana was last year is kind of irrelevant to me, no?
I 100% think it's because people think Indiana's just an awful team like last year. And they were. I mean, last year they were god awful. They were tough to watch. In terms of how much that means this year, I don't think it means that much. I think they're going to have a worse season than last year record-wise because they're going to have to play a tougher schedule. But I think they're a better team. I mean, coming into this game, I would lean to take them cover in this game. But I'm probably not going to touch that. I'm just going to take the under. I think that both of these teams run average at best paces like we looked before, and I really don't think that FIU is going to be able to score much at all. Indiana, maybe they'll get like 28-31, but then do you really think FIU is going to score 20 plus? Like, no. So I'm just going to take the under, and that's probably going to be my only play.
Do you think Indiana's going to be worse than last year? They were like 3-9.
Yeah, but they have a brutal. They got to play the Big Ten.
He said those words.
I did. I
Yeah.
said I think their
Dude,
record will be
Indiana.
their record will be even.
9 Indiana.
I don't think they're 9 Indiana.
Yeah, but 9 Indiana. Oh my God, what a bad take. 9 Indiana is not going 3-9 again. No.
I know when we talked about FIU, we were pretty high on them. I know I'm smashing underdogs here, but yeah, give me FIU. I'm not personally betting this. I don't like it either way. But I would lean towards FIU. This is one of the best FIU offenses in a decade. I know they're going to be able to open it up down the field with Patterson, Rivers, and Burris, but Ken Jenkins is very mobile, and he can definitely get out of the pocket if he needs to. But like Kyle said, both FIU lines are great right now. So both sides of the ball is going to be better. The D line's extremely strong and has actual depth that they can actually rotate out now. But like you said, Indiana's going to be an improvement for sure. Like, James Madison plus Rourke. Yeah, I mean, so Cyrus should have an impact as a wideout. Their O-line is improved. It's going to be a better team on both sides of the ball. I don't know if they're going to make a bowl game, personally. I think they would be around 5-6 wins, but I don't really like Indiana's secondary or linebackers, so that's a question there. I think Jenkins is going to take advantage of a leaky defense, and I'll take the hook with the 21.5 too. So.
Here's the thing. Yes, FIU's defense is improved, but I find their strength to be more in the pass rush variety, and I don't think it's going to matter against Big Ten and James Madison offensive linemen. And also, look, Indiana, yeah, you said you have questions at linebacker. That's true. But 4 of their defensive front 7 are James Madison starters from last year, and that was one of the best run defenses in college football. So I actually have faith in the Indiana defense. Yeah, there's a lot of new faces, but a handful of those faces just played together last year, just not here. So yeah, I'm talking myself into this. I might whatever. I don't have this bet yet. Next game prop, Beaver. TCU Stanford. Andy, I know you. I have some stuff to say about this one too. I bet this one, but do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
I bet this too, actually.
We all bet. Okay. Well, actually, I don't know if Andy did.
No, I already bet this. Yeah, I bet TCU minus. I got 9.5. You can get
Wrong.
8. You can get 9s, and you're probably gonna be able to get 8.5s by kickoff. So I'm probably gonna get some negative CLV there. But I said this. I think TCU is a far improved team. But again, this isn't a preview on TCU. This is a preview of this game. I think Hoover is very good. Look, also, Stanford was one of the worst defenses in the league last year. They were ranked 133rd in success rate overall. That's dead last. Now, it wouldn't be, but it's dead last. They brought guys back, but they brought the guys that were awful last year. Now, they did have to face a lot of hard quarterbacks, but Hoover looked really solid throughout his games last year, got better as the year went on. One thing I'm a little nervous about is he did have some rough road games, but he had to play in Iowa State. He had to go to Oklahoma. He had to go to Texas Tech. Very hard places to play. Stanford's not a hard place to play. It's Stanford. Students just barely getting back to school. I'd be surprised if half the building was filled on Friday. I don't think it's a hard environment. He had to play in hard Big 12 environments last year, and he led them. I believe he led them to a win at Texas Tech. He was a solid quarterback last year, and I only think he was a true freshman. I think he's going to be better. I think they're going to be able to throw the ball. Running the ball, they lost Amani Bailey, so they're probably not going to run nearly as well last year. But as a team, their O-line and their running attack overall was better on the road than it was at home.
Yeah, but now they're gone. They're all gone.
I understand, but they brought in a guy from Arkansas who was pretty highly recruited. Unfortunately, he was behind Rocket Sanders, and they have Cam Cook, who they really like. So they have guys that are going to be running there. And again, they're facing a defense that was very bad last year and just brought back the same crap that was on the field last year. So now you have all of that on offense, and Stanford's offense is solid compared to what it was last year. They have Ashton Daniels. They have one of the better receivers in the ACC in Ayo Manor, but I think TCU's defense is only going to be better than what it was last year, and it was pretty decent last year. It got better as the season went on. I trust Sonny Dykes to put out a good team. I don't think they were anywhere near as bad as they were last year, 5-7, and they were nowhere near as good as they were the year before when they made the national championship. They're right around in the middle. I think this is about a 7-8 win team, and I think they go in here. They can win this game by 2 touchdowns very easily. I'm not worried about a road environment at all. So that's that's just how I feel about this game. I think I agree. I do understand why people are going with Stanford. They're returning a lot, and people think that those guys are only going to be better. But even if those guys are slightly better than they were last year, in this game they don't match up well.
Andrew, you're forgetting. You should have learned last Saturday with Georgia Tech that returning production matters, experience matters, and this TCU team. All right, we won't even talk
loaded with transfers.
Yeah, we won't even need to talk about the TCU defense yet. We'll get there. TCU's offense is going to struggle in this game. They're rolling into Stanford with a brand new offense. The entire offensive line is gone. Not 4 out of 5, all of them gone. The whole offensive line. The entire TCU offensive line is built through the transfer portal. Now it's TCU. I'm sure that they brought some pieces in. But as we just saw with Florida State, takes some time. It's their first game with a brand new offensive line. Star running back, as you mentioned, gone. Their best receiving weapon, tight end Jared Riley, he's on the Chiefs. He led the team in receptions and touchdowns last year. Where's the offense coming from? You just saw Josh Hoover's going to go in there, brand new offensive line, brand new receiving weapons. Who cares, right? Running back doesn't matter. And by the way, like you mentioned, Stanford, everyone is back. All 3 linebackers returned. 6 defensive backs returned that started a game last year. Everyone's back for Stanford. And by the way, what type of offense is TCU? They throw the shit out of the ball. They're the top 25 in passing frequency last year. That's no stranger to Stanford's defense. They're used to they were playing in the Pac-12, played 5 NFL quarterbacks last year. They're no stranger to an offense that wants to throw the ball. In fact, that's what they're used to playing against. I like that. I think TCU's offense is going to struggle to score here. Now, obviously, both these teams play fast paces. Totals at 60. Odds makers are expecting points. No question. Fast pace has a lot to do with that. And no question they're expecting TCU to get the ball in the end zone. I think their offense is going to struggle a little bit. I like Stanford's defense to make a statement here in the opening game. And by the way, on the other side, Stanford's offense, everyone's back. This is also an offense that likes to throw the ball a lot. And unlike Stanford, TCU doesn't play in the Pac-12 where they saw 5 NFL quarterbacks. They bring back their quarterback, Ashton Daniels. Yes, a lot of last season he didn't look great, but he really shined bright in a couple spots. What was it? Washington, Colorado. He had a couple really nice games. His star wide receiver is back, the dude that went off against Coach Prime in that double overtime game. In fact, Stanford's top 3 wide receivers are back. What's the weakness of this TCU defense last year? Defending the pass. I love it. Stanford, man. Now, TCU did bring in a ton of transfers to bolster their secondary. So I think as a whole, TCU's pass defense might improve as the season progresses. But week 1 on the road, I think Stanford will score some points here. Now, TCU's defensive front, I expect to be solid. I expect TCU to do even a better job against the run this year than they did last year because they were a pretty solid run defense last year. I just don't think Stanford has any interest in running the ball here. I like the matchup. 9.5. I'm in. Stanford.
Yeah, both are coming off disappointing seasons, more so TCU, obviously, after their championship game. I'm not sure about TCU this year. They're pretty much loaded with transfers, especially their lines. Like Kyle said, their O-line is completely new. This is more taking the opposite side of TCU than backing Stanford. I like the Stanford money line at plus 260. But I'm also, I only put like a quarter unit on that, but I like the over more, the over 60 points. Yeah, I'm actually
I'm at the under. I was leaning under, Scoop.
TCU wasn't as bad as their record last year. They had 4 like close games. They actually had a plus 56 scoring differential in the Big 12, even though they were 3-6. Josh Hoover's back and should take advantage of a bad secondary. And yeah, Trey Sanders is one of the best recruits from Alabama as a running back if they actually use him. But linebackers are probably the best unit on TCU, but I think that stops there. I don't like their transfers in their secondary. I think Stanford's going to air it out. I think they can definitely score over the top of them. And Stanford has one of the best offensive lines in the entire country right now. A lot of the stats say they're going to be better than a touchdown. A lot of stats say they're going to be better than a touchdown offensively this year, and I see that. Daniel should have a way better year. They have all 3 of their top wide receivers back. I like the over, but I'm also betting Stanford on the money line. So.
We have some people in here. So Trey Jr. says 31-30. TCU escapes with a win. Let's see. We have other people dropping picks here. Where's Helms?
I don't want to be disrespectful.
Here's Helms. Helms is on Stanford
be
with us.
be disrespectful.
All right, wait. You just said they were going to have one of the best offensive lines in the country?
Yes.
Dude, they were one of the worst last year. Where are these guys
they're gonna
coming
be one of the
from?
best this year.
Where are these guys coming from?
I forgot you can predict what 2024's team.
I'm just saying, like, how are they going from 130th in offensive line
One
yards?
of the best in the country was a little wild, but Bethany.
You'll see. You'll see. Talk to me in
I
December,
think
and
the
we'll talk
pass
about
rush is going to be a
them.
concern for them on Friday, to be honest.
One of the best
but...
in the country is kind of crazy. I think they'll be a lot better.
Yeah, they'll be better, but it's easy. I mean, I'd hope you're better than that. Like, to be fair,
they're gonna know their scheme from last year. They had a whole new system in 2023.
I understand they had a whole new system.
But listen, a whole new system. They have a whole year to prepare for it now. A full season, understanding the scheme and knowing what their weak points are. They're gonna address them. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot better, and it's gonna be one of the best. We'll see. Talk to me later.
I liked one more thing before we move on to the next game. Kyle brought up a very good Kyle brought up a very good point before, and I know it's against what he said. TCU came into last season, got caught with their pants down against Colorado.
Yeah,
it was embarrassing for them, and it was awful. And they started a whole storm.
They suck.
No, now do you think they're gonna come into a season completely unprepared for their opponent again?
Oh, okay, great. Congrats on your 5-7 year again, TCU. Congrats.
All right. Let's move on to the next game.
Jesus,
this a strong difference of opinion there.
TCU, great pick.
All right, now Clemson, Georgia. All right, Andy. So Andy is a diehard Georgia fan. He said, and I believe he said he won't touch it at 14 though. So go ahead. How do these teams, without being trying to keep an objective lens here?
You know I always do. I don't know where this came from.
No, you don't at all.
About
go ahead.
I don't know what they're talking about. I always keep an objective mind. I would not touch it at right now. It's at 14, 13 and a half. I think that number could go down in the next couple of days because of running back room issues, and I think that's kind of the reason I don't think I'm going to bet this game at all. Georgia's running back situation is a mess right now. They just lost Roderick Robinson for a couple of weeks. He just had surgery on his toe. Trevor Etienne might not play in the game because of a suspension, so that's down your top two running backs. Third running back is Cash Jones. He was highly recruited, but he hasn't been really featured much at all in his career right now. He's from Georgia, so it would be a good moment for him, but I really don't know how much they're going to be able to run. But I will say this, Carson Beck and the receivers are going to get whatever they want. They're going to score, no doubt. I just don't think they can control the game if it gets at it. Because one thing about Clemson, their defense great. So if Clemson's defense comes to play and they're ready to go and they're stopping the pass, Georgia doesn't have anywhere to go with that. So they can't necessarily control this game. Clemson, on the other hand, they have their running back. They might be able to control this game and take an early lead and have a tough punch on Georgia that I don't think they can come back from. So I'm not really I'm not betting the spread in this game. I honestly think an under is good.
I was thinking
a good look.
over.
A lot of these neutral site starts to the season, they start very slow, which is why I think that could be a problem, especially because if Clemson gets the ball first, they're going to run the ball as much as possible, try to take some clock off and get off to a good start. Georgia probably won't be able to do that because of their running back situation. So I think Clemson's going to try to control this game so it could get the number down. So I like the under at the current number. If it goes down anymore, I don't think I'd love it, but I don't like the spread at all for Georgia. I could go down though because of these injuries and this situation. So if Etienne's announced as out, you might see that number drop a point or two. So I'll be waiting on that.
You know why I like the over is because I think both teams could exploit, like what we talked about it last year a lot. We were talking about it during the Georgia preview. This isn't the Georgia defenses of 2020, 2021. This Georgia team's built a little differently. In fact, the offense is the strength. And last year, surprisingly enough, you could run the ball in Georgia a little bit. I mean, not that their run defense was bad. It's freaking Georgia. But they were like a lot of running metrics, like 36th, 27th. Like they weren't as old school Georgia. It was like first. Like you just didn't run the ball on them. That's not how this Georgia team is built. And I like that Clemson kid, the running back. You were saying that you think Will Shipley's bad. I think he might be better than Shipley. And I think Clemson, the game plan's pretty clear. Come in here, establish the run because they think they can. And honestly, I don't know if it's crazy. I think they will be able to. I think Clemson will be able to run the ball. But on the other side, I don't know if look, I know that Brock Bowers is gone, McConkey's gone. I get it, but that kid's a machine. That quarterback's good as fuck, man. Beck, I think Georgia's going to score points right back. So personally, I want to take the over. But I mean, I do get what you're saying. Like neutral site, this big game. Both coaches probably going to be conservative with the play calling. So I think you can take off that over prop, Beaver. Just put Clemson up for me because I think this point in the season that I wouldn't lay 2 touchdowns. I think I would take Clemson to cover because I think they'll be able to run the football. Running the football keeps the chains moving, keeps the clock rolling. So that's probably where I would go. And I probably will place a bet on this game, but it'll be more because I want to watch it and have fun, not because I necessarily think there's an angle. So I'll probably end up taking, hopefully you could still get a 14?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably take a Clemson plus 14. We'll see what the line does. I haven't bet it yet. This won't be like one of my picks posted on the website under open bets
Actually,
that gets tracked or anything, but I'll probably put some money on this for fun.
Actually, it's a lot of 13.5s. There's a 13 out there.
Shit,
So
it's
going
moving down. People
like
really
I
buying
said
it on
it was.
Clemson?
I don't know
because
how drastically it's going to go down, but that's very interesting that it's
You
continuing.
know why
to
it's
go
going down? It's because both of your picks are god awful. But
boy.
yeah, it's probably one of the better games this weekend in terms of talent for both teams. But I don't think this is going to be particularly close. Georgia has the best defense in the country. I'm not sure. I don't like Klubnik that much. He had a really mediocre quarterback performance last year. Maybe good down the stretch, but as much as Clemson's offense will be better, taking it on a Georgia team is going to be rough for them. Not only that, but they lost all 4 starting defensive linemen. I don't care if it's Cash Jones, Marion Jones, Cam Jones, whatever Jones you want to put out there as a running back. They're gonna run all over Georgia. So I know it's Clemson, so they have the talent to fill the gap. But it would help if their game was against maybe Appalachian State, like they do in week 2 instead of Georgia in week 1. Carson Beck, I think it's going to shred this defense. Georgia O-line is going to give him tons of time. I hope ETN plays just because I like him as a running back. But yeah, Clemson's going to have to throw here for any type of chance. That's not happening really because he's not that accurate. He sucks. It's just a matchup nightmare for Clemson. I know they led the country in EPA per pass defensively last year. That's in the ACC, not against Georgia. So there were a few games Georgia struggled with last year, including that Georgia Tech game. But when they're on, they're obviously the number 1 team in the country. So I think Georgia wins here by 20, 21, 22 points.
I mean, I agree with you that Beck's going to be able to score, but I don't necessarily think that would be a fade of the Clemson defense. I just think that's the best passing attack. I mean, that's just the best offense in the country. And I'll give a little pushback because Clemson's defense, they played an ACC schedule, but they saw a fully healthy Florida State, Jordan Travis, and they lost that game. But Florida State's offense didn't beat them. They missed a field goal. That's what freaking beat them. I mean, they held Florida State to like 311 total yards. So I like this Clemson defense, but like I said, it's not. I don't like it enough to argue with anybody over it. I think it's pretty. I think 13, 14 is pretty sharp as far as where this line should be. So let's go on to the next one. We got one more, right? Ooh, so yeah, we were looking at this game. All right, Yukon, Maryland. Tell me. All right. Let me pull up my notes.
I'm waiting for my cursor to reappear. So
okay, it's cool. They can see what game we're on. It comes back in a second.
Christ.
All right. So Yukon, Maryland. Me and Andy took a lot of hate for our Yukon preview. Yukon fans were really upset with whatever.
By the way, they just named their quarterback this morning. Nick Evers.
That's when we did the preview. That's what we assumed it was going to be. So yeah, Nick Evers finally gets to play. I mean, if you don't know who this was a very highly touted recruit. I think it was Oklahoma first, then Wisconsin, or was it Wisconsin first, then Oklahoma? Oh yeah, so he was recruited by Oklahoma. This quarterback, Nick Evers, didn't really play. Then transferred to Wisconsin, didn't really play. And now he's finally getting to the start here at Yukon. So we're going to finally see Nick Evers play some quarterback. The top 2 running backs do return for Connecticut. Unfortunately, the receivers are gone. 3 starters gone on the offensive line. So although they should be set at quarterback and running back, the rest of the offense, I mean, by the way, this wasn't a very good offense last year. So I don't have a ton of faith in Yukon to score points. But really, his cursor still gone?
Oh, it's back.
Oh, it's back? Okay, so put up under 45 for me, Prop Beaver, please.
That's what I like, too.
Yeah? Okay, yeah. So basically, I think the market's perception of Maryland is a little off here based on Okay, it's all based on the 2022 season because Maryland in 2022 turned some heads. Everyone was watching Maryland's football games. Talia Tagovailoa, Tua's little brother. They were scoring points. They had those two. It was Dante Defus, or what was that receiver's name? Whatever. They had two star receivers and Tagovailoa, and Maryland was going out there throwing touchdown passes on Ohio State and Michigan and shit. So Maryland turned some heads. Their defense sucked that year. So they got branded as like, oh, this is a team that scores a bunch of points that doesn't play defense. But last year, Tagovailoa didn't even really play well, and that offense took a huge step backwards. So that even though they still had a similar roster last year, they didn't really play it out the same on the field, and everyone's just like, Maryland sucks. But what got swept under the rug is how much better the Maryland defense played last year. Maryland's defense was really good last year. I mean, really good by Maryland standards. They weren't like top 15 or anything, but they played great defense against the run. And with a Yukon team that's uncertain at offensive line, doesn't really have many receiving weapons. I mean, they did bring in a couple transfers through the portal. A kid from Charlotte, from Gardner-Webb, I think. But I like this Maryland defense a lot, starting off at home. And on the offensive side of the ball for Maryland, I just think there's a lot of question marks. I mean, this kid, Billy Edwards Jr., is taking over at quarterback. Andy was saying that they like him a lot. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know a ton about him. But I'm thinking they're going to run the football here, eat some clock, and I just don't think UConn contributes enough points to get it over the total. I'd say final score 27-10. 27-10. Stays under.
You want me to go? He unmuted me.
All right, you go. All right, you can go, Andy. Go ahead.
All right, I'll go. All right. So a lot of the reasons I don't like this Maryland team this year is actually the reasons I kind of like them this week. And that, to explain that, is in run frequency last year, they were 123rd, 11th in pass frequency. So they want to throw the ball. Mike Loxley loves to throw the ball. He has a quarterback he likes in Billy Edwards. I trust him, whatever. He's a veteran. He knows football more than I do. And what was UConn the worst at last year? Pass defense. Their pass defense was 133rd in success rate. And I don't care what transfers you bring in, you're not fixing that right away. So they're going to want to throw the ball. That's why I think that they're going to tear this UConn secondary to shreds. Now, I understand.
Some dark language.
I understand it's a young quarterback, but he's not a freshman. So he was sitting behind Tua's brother last year. So he knows what this system is. He knows what he needs to do. So they're going to unleash him. It's not like Raiola. Raiola's brand new. This guy was there last year. So they're going to let him do whatever he wants, throw the ball however much he wants. And that just benefits them so well. Also, I think UConn could get shut out here. They could only score 3 points. This is an awful offense, too. I know Evers is finally getting his chance to play. But if you went two places and didn't play, it's time to get the hint. This is where he belongs at UConn playing football. So I really don't think this offense is going to do very much. And I think they're going to get ripped to shreds. So I think I kind of agree with you. 28 is about my number for Maryland. Maybe 35, 28-0. 35-7 in that range, but you can get 20s on this right now, and I think they blow by that.
So you would lay the points of Maryland?
Yeah. I think I'm going to. I haven't bet it yet because I saw the numbers going down.
I just don't know. I'm just not crazy about laying that many points with an offense that I'm not really. I mean, offense took a step backwards. Last year's Maryland offense was a huge disappointment.
Definitely.
All right. So that's it. We back same time tomorrow. 6 more college football.
You're not going to let me talk about Maryland. You're not going to let me talk about them. That's fine. I mean, that's all right. I thought MJ Morris was starting. By the way, he's not. MJ Morris. He's not starting for the Maryland.
It's Billy Edwards Jr.
All right. Well, either way, I think Evers is going to be the right choice for UConn. He's a dual threat quarterback. He hasn't played, so who knows what it's going to be. Team has good transfers from wide receiver. Cam Edwards should have another solid season with the help. He won first team all independent, which I didn't know was a thing. The issue is going to be defensively.
Sorry. To answer your question, so as of an hour ago, head coach has not named the starter.
Okay. Well, yeah, he was redshirted from NC State after 4 games, so I don't know if he's going to start or not. But all the linebackers are new for UConn. Maryland won 13 of the last 14 openers, so that's something. But yeah, the front seven, I think Kyle said it, or one of you said it, the front seven of Maryland's defense is going to be really strong. I think it's going to be their best group going forward. I don't really like a team. I think this is just going to be a defensive battle. Yeah, I mean, plus Maryland's returning 4 on offense. I don't know how they're going to gel together on their first game. So even if they win like a 27-0 game, I still think it's going to be an under. So I probably won't be watching this. There's other games on at 12 on Saturday, but yeah, I like the under here. So
cool. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Same time tomorrow. We got 6 more college football games, baseball, same thing as we always do. So see you. And me and Andy are going to be uploading a bunch of college football videos today. We got FAU, Michigan State almost ready. Probably going to do 4 or 5 videos tonight too. So stay if you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, whatever, you should see it. Oh, and if you want to see any of our open bets that we have placed personally, just go to KyleKirms.com and there's a button that if you click on picks, it says view open bets. And there's like a tab. It says like Sauce, Scoop, Andy, and you just click and you can see all the open bets. Whatever. It's self-explanatory. So yeah, go check that out if you want. Everyone, have a good night. Later.